This is blowing my mind. So there's this new Mandela effect people are noticing in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the Gene Wilder one. Not this one. In the scene where Charlie is gifted a Wonka candy from his grandpa, do you recall what that candy actually is? If you're like me and anyone else, you'd guess it was a Wonka bar, as Charlie and his family are hoping he opens it to reveal a golden ticket, which, spoiler alert, it's not. But if you take a closer look at it, you see that it's actually not even a Wonka bar at all. It looks to be a moon pie. Actually, it's called a Whipple Scrumptious Fudge Mellow Delight. Now, this is sending the internet into a craze because everyone is remembering it as a Wonka bar. And I thought so too, as I thought the only Wonka item that contained the golden tickets were Wonka bars, Wonka chocolate bars to be exact. So why is Charlie opening up a Fudge Mellow and his whole family is hoping that there's a golden ticket inside? Now, just to clarify, don't get it confused with this scene where Grandpa Joe secretly gifts Charlie an actual Wonka bar late one night with money that was supposed to be for tobacco, which is a completely different scene. Now, several people dusted off their old VHS copies of Willy Wonka to double check and shared their results on social media. Like this account here who broke out her VHS tape and the newer DVD release. When she played the DVD version, it was a Fudge Mellow. But then when she played the VHS copy, it was also a Fudge Mellow. So apparently it's always been a Fudge Mellow. But there's people who swear that they remember it being a chocolate bar, which I thought so too. Yeah, I'm guessing CERN might have run another Hadron Collider experiment or something.
Was it really a bar? Seekers, man. I thought it was the freaking, like I said, a chocolate bar, not the moon pie. Oh, somebody making switches to the timelines, man. Again, bro. I don't think that debate's ever gonna go away, man. Hey, what the dog you doing? Waiting for something. What the? Oh!
I wish this was fake, but unfortunately it's not. And we're going to do this live because I don't want to see any comments that, this is a conspiracy theory, blah, blah, or whatever else the bots come up with these days. You can see we're on the Coca-Cola website. You can see the URL right there at the top. This is a live screen mirroring of this laptop right here. We're going to go ahead and customize our Coke can. The first entry we're going to try is the devil is king. No issues with the devil is king. Now let's try Jesus is king. Suddenly, we get an error. You can see here they say, we worked hard to get this right. Now let's try Satan is good. No problems with Satan is good. You can see it populate on the Coke can right here, but it gets better. Let's try Jesus is good. Again, we get that error, and you can go ahead and swap it with other religions. No problems there. No problems there. But this is the best part. We'll swap it back to Jesus is good. Again, we get that error. But what if we were to put Jesus is bad? Suddenly it takes our entry, and you can even put Jesus is evil, and you can see it populate on the Coke can right there. Wow.
That is messed up, man. All those other entries, bro, a problem magically happened, but once you started putting he was bad, all of a sudden it worked. Come on now, man. I'm gonna have to try that out myself, Seekers, bro. You should try it out for yourself too, man. See if you type it in, man, will it actually go through? But it wouldn't surprise me at all, bro. Oh, they're covering their eye. I see the message.
Let me see if I got this right. So they took away our SD cards, our memory sticks, and then started charging us for memory to store our data. Okay. Then they started taking away our VHSs and our DVDs and then started charging us to stream movies. Okay, then they took away our little headphone jack and then started charging us all kinds of amounts for Apple products to make up for not having that headphone jack. Then they started taking away our rights to fix our own cars. And now you gotta take it in to go get fixed. Let's see, what else is there? Then they started taking away farmers' rights to have seeds. So they can't grow certain fruits and vegetables anymore. But then they start selling us seedless fruits. So, okay. There's a lot. The list goes on. You guys tell me what did we used to have that they have taken away?
Is he keying his car? That's just diabolical.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I guess I'm the only person in Louisville that never seen this tree in person. And I bumped into it on accident today. I ain't never just went looking for this tree, but what's the truth behind this? Like, what? They call it the witch tree, so what's going on for real, for real? What really? Now I want to know. What's the truth behind this right here? Shit a little crazy, man. I don't think I would put nothing personal on this tree right here.
Me either. Looks haunted.
Прям сюда залезай. Закрой окно. Оставь. Ты дурак, что ли, она нас сожрет здесь сейчас? Ой.
Looks weird. It's like a dot in the middle.
Y'all, ain't no way. You got dark humor, watch this shit, bro. A 26-year-old dressed up as a Grim Reaper climbed to the top of a hospital and was staring patients down as they were entering the hospital. Per reports, they said this man was up there for like an hour, fool. Imagine you being rushed inside the hospital on a hospital bed and you look up, you start seeing bright lights and then all of a sudden you see a dark-ass figure. And you like, is that a Grim Reaper? Fool, you might pass away just seeing that shit. So this man obviously facing jail time, fool. But he told them he wasn't no Grim Reaper. He said he was dressing as a crow. Now looking from here, that don't look like no damn crow, fool. That look like a Grim Reaper. I just can imagine right now, you had some patients looking like, this is the end.
That was messed up. Why would he dress up like that?
Hey, are you in here?
I think so.
Police or something? I don't know. Yeah, what is this? Someone's crying inside. Hello? Hey. Are you okay? No?
Up or down? Up. Okay.
Up.
We're on the 23rd floor. Where are you? Up or down? Up? Down? 23rd? Down. 22nd floor. 22nd floor?
Hello, where are you? Can you hear me?
Okay, she can hear us.
We can't see you. You're down?
Okay, make a sound if it's on your floor, okay? 22nd? 23rd? 24th.
I don't think she can
I
hear
don't
us.
think she can hear us.
What floor is she on?
23rd?
She sounds like next door.
Yeah, I
She
think
sounds
she's
like next door.
Denver International Airport is the most monstrous conspiracy theory. I don't know whether to start with the fact that it's twice the size of Boston, Miami, and San Francisco, or that every several months during construction they switched contractors so that no one knows the full layout of the airport. Not to mention there's at least 5 buildings that they decided to bury, and there's potentially hundreds of underground bunkers. So I'll just start it off simply with the terrifying artwork in this airport. Denver Airport welcomes you with this inviting 32-foot, 9,000-pound statue of this demonic horse with red eyes nicknamed Lucifer. This possessed statue essentially murdered its creator when a piece of it fell off during construction and severed its artery. A lot of people believe that it represents one of the 4 horsemen who will usher in the apocalypse, which seems far-fetched until you see the artwork they have in the Denver airport. What better way to get in the mood for a flight than to walk past this mural of a soldier stabbing a dove holding a rifle standing over unconscious children? The gas mask and decaying city are also a nice touch. Phone is rebelling because it was supposed to update months ago and I keep putting it off, so it won't let me post the second even more terrifying picture, but I'll post it tomorrow along with even crazier stuff.
The products that became successful because customers used them completely wrong. Listerine was originally marketed as a powerful floor cleaner and general disinfectant for hospitals and homes, but customers started using it as mouthwash during the 1920s. The company spent decades promoting Listerine as an industrial-strength cleaning solution that could sanitize surfaces and medical equipment in institutional settings. When people began gargling with the antiseptic and reporting fresher breath, Listerine pivoted their entire marketing strategy and invented the concept of halitosis to sell their cleaning product as essential oral hygiene solution.
Y'all still gonna use mouthwash?
Apparently, it wasn't Iran who f***ed with our water in Minnesota. If you're unaware, 2 days ago, 30 towns in Minnesota had their water supply cut off. Now, we were originally told that these were attacks by Iran on our water treatment facilities that successfully turned wastewater into reusable and drinking water. Well, Trump did a press conference last night and saying it was due to our own gross incompetence as a state and blamed Tim Walz. How the f*** do you go from Iran to it's our own fault? They're testing us with water scarcity. The Hoover Dam was just shut down until further notice because the lake is so low the dam's integrity is in trouble. There are droughts across the United States and data centers are popping up everywhere. And then 30 Minnesota towns had this attack? Kinda sounds like they're maybe preparing us for something. But what do I know? Whatever.
This MMA fighter glitches like he's something right off of Grand Theft Auto. Is this proof that we do have NPCs that walk amongst us? Some would actually say that we create these monsters through repetitive training, that we actually create NPCs. These NPCs learn to react instead of responding, almost like not knowing how to play a video game and just hitting all the buttons. If you have a logical explanation of what's going on here, please leave it below. Or just leave your comments. Unanswered Universe.
You look like he glitching out, bro.
So here's another rather macabre thing about Guanajuato. It's famous for mummies, not just any mummies, incredibly naturally well-preserved mummies. Turns out you had to pay a tax on burial plots or your final resting place, whether that be in tunnels or catacombs under the city. And if nobody paid up for you, you were out. What happened was the gravediggers found out if they made a display of these mummies, they could make a bit of money. They could charge for people to come through. People would even take bits of the bodies as souvenirs. It was the original side hustle. Now it's gone legit, and there's actually a museum housing the mummies. The mysterious thing is why they didn't decompose. Could it be a strange energy source under Guanajuato? Well, people think it was the richness of the soil or the incredibly dry air that made them somehow self-embalm, but it is a little bit of a mystery. Just like the blob, it gets curiouser and curiouser. I'll see you in the comments. Take care.
What in the Five Nights at Freddy's are we seeing? It could be Among Us, bro. We don't even know.
Ancient historians wrote about a species of headless humans with faces on their chest who lived deep in Africa. The Blimier were mythical headless humanoid creatures with faces, specifically eyes and mouths, located on their chests or shoulders. Ancient writers often treated them as if they were another distant tribe that lived in remote regions, far from Roman civilization. Later, writers expanded on the idea, describing them as fierce warriors that were isolated from other human populations. They were included in historical texts that mixed real geography with secondhand reports from travelers and explorers. One explanation is that these accounts were based on real groups of people, but misunderstood or exaggerated. At a distance, certain clothing or shields, or even posture may have created the illusion that facial features were positioned lower on the body. Over time, as these stories were retold, those details could have been distorted into something far more extreme and made for better stories. Some scholars think they were symbolic and meant to represent the unknown.
Oh, please, come on. Ooh, look at you with your triangle hand gesture. Ooh. I can imagine what you're thinking. I'm so mysterious and so cool. Look at me, I'm part of a powerful organization. Oh, why? Because I didn't have any real talent. So I turned to demons to give me my abilities and success in the world. You don't want to mess with me. Ooh, I can even put my eye through the triangle. Ooh, ooh. You should be very scared of me. And just buy my albums and watch my movies.
To the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown! McMahon and McKinnon, 14-0 Bears. Then the defense, which hadn't put up a sack in 12 quarters, finally did.
Who took over? Okay, that was eerie, bro.
Look at this, y'all.
Check it out, they're the worst selling vehicle in America right now. They've been sitting on the lot for over a year, and they're 50% off, so you can get them down from 80K down to 39 grand.
Wow.
No joke. So why do you think these things ain't selling? Does no one like electric? It's the future, don't you know? Everyone's wanting them.
First and foremost, nobody wants an electric muscle car. Nobody. Dodge has completely ruined their reputation when it comes to these cars. I mean, like, y'all are coming from your V8 Hemis, your Scat Packs, your Daytona Chargers, your Hellcats, your Demon 170s, even the Hellafants. You could choose it in the Charger body or the Challenger body. You could get it with the wide body kit if you want, or you can get the slim body kit. And y'all decide to make an electric car and throw the Scat Pack logo on the side and say, yeah, this is your new Scat, right? Hear me out, though. Then, when y'all realize nobody is gonna buy this, y'all say, you know what? We're gonna put a motor in it, but we're gonna call it the 6-pack. I'm gonna tell y'all what Dodge should have did, for real, for real. These cars is cool. It's cool. But y'all need to keep doing what y'all are doing with the original cars. If y'all are not gonna upgrade or change something a little bit different from the Scat Packs, the original ones, the Hellcats, you can't come out with this. You can't totally change it. First of all, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't understand why y'all decided to fix it, because it wasn't broke. Y'all know how many people were buying these cars? People were buying these cars, pulling off the lot, crashing them within a week, and going back and buying another one. Why would y'all change the whole body style, the whole layout? Why would y'all do that? Then to be honest, I've only seen one of these on the road. Only one. Maybe two, but I only remembered seeing it one time on the road. When I mean nobody has this car, yo, like Dodge, nah, don't nobody want this. Like I said, y'all should have it. It's cool to make these, it's cool. But you should have made these on the side. Don't let this be your new main product. It's not gonna work. Y'all should have known that. Y'all trying to keep up with the electric, this and that. If y'all want to keep up with electric, keep doing what you're doing and add electric to it. That's how y'all should have did it, but y'all thought y'all knew what y'all was doing. Y'all should have known that ain't nobody gonna want this. Look at it. It's definitely nice on the inside, but it's like, it really looked like a Hyundai, a K5. You feel me? On the inside, that's really what it looked like. You can't do all that to a muscle car, bro. Like, nah, man. If you want to upgrade the infotainment center on a 2019 Scat, do that. But you gotta keep that same look, cause this ain't gonna work.
Seekers, any of you guys got a Scat Pack, bro? Y'all buy that electric version of it, man? It was sitting, bro. So I don't know, man. Like you said, they should have just stuck with the original plan, bro. I heard them, like, didn't they say they was gonna discontinue the Scats or something like that? Bad idea.
Boarding a train, when he sees this, a person under the user Palo from Madrid, Spain accidentally captured a haunting moment while at the train station Chamberry, recording footage of the station from out the passenger window. The video starts off normal, capturing footage of the speeding train, but as the train passes by, they see this.
Nothing so far.
In one of the areas deep within the train's tunnel system, they see this figure with long dark hair and a white cloak. The figure seems to be lingering in a dangerously restricted section of the tunnel where you would find only a maintenance person, like a technician. Yet, we can clearly see the silhouette of a lady in white standing in the corner, facing Paro, as if it's looking at them. The haunting video left many viewers unsettled, given the fact that no technician's uniform could resemble this figure's uncanny appearance, leading to many conclusions and theories of the possibility that Paro might have captured a lingering soul from a tragic accident there. But as always, share your thoughts on this one.
For those of you who haven't seen the video of Perez Hilton doing what he did on live, I get it, this man was awful to Britney Spears and a lot of other female celebrities, but what happened on live in front of thousands of people is extremely disturbing, and nobody should support that happening to anybody.
People are starting to realize everything is not what it seems to be anymore, y'all. Nothing is real anymore. A lot of us grew up thinking that we were supporting these mom and pop restaurants. Come to find out that these people are using the same corporation, these same companies like Cisco to get their products.
Hey, they have tiramisu, they have carrot cake, they have pastries, and then I look over here. What? I'm not supposed to see that. I thought this was homemade.
This is a local bakery. Do any of you guys go to Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast? Because this is exactly what you're eating. Does this look like eggs? And let's be honest, it's not just Dunkin' Donuts, y'all. I know y'all taste these everywhere. Could you imagine going to the farmer's market specifically to get fruits, and then you're sitting in your car and you come across this? Driscoll's? Really? These are the same blueberries that Publix be having.
A little PSA, if you go to a farmer's market and they have PLU stickers on all of their produce, you're not actually buying from a farm, you're actually buying from the wholesaler, and they're getting the same stuff that is from Kroger and Walmart. So you're not actually buying anything.
Produce
What is that?
What we doing, y'all? Are y'all ready to go breatharian yet? Apparently, everybody's getting their food from the same company, Cisco. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I play with words and I decode words, and that look like it says psycho to me.
Well, there it is. That's where all our food comes from. If you think you're getting something else, nope.
Look at this, bro. Look at this. They're going door to door. They're not playing. Because why does that even look like it says psycho? And then everybody eating the food is psycho.
I'm pretty sure my local Asian buffet uses this exact thing for their shrimp tempura. And I'm going to tell you guys something else too. So this is from Costco. This is the Kirkland Signature Brand Shrimp Tempura. You cook this in the oven or the air fryer. It also comes with these sauce packets that you put on top. And these are like sweet. This tastes the exact same as the Asian buffet, as the like expensive shrimp tempura you get when you go out. This is the same one. I told you that a lot of restaurants don't make their desserts, so they get them from here and they like cut them and then make it seem like it was like homemade. That's why the cheesecake from Chili's and Fridays tastes exactly the same, because it's the same fucking business.
So what do y'all think? Does this change the way that you look at restaurants now? Personally, for myself, the best I've ever felt is when I fast, is when I detox. Drinking those herbal teas, getting out in the sun, and making sure I detox, the best thing ever. I feel like we should take our health in our own hands, because it shows that these restaurants do not care about us, man. But let me know what you guys think about this video, man. This shit is here.
World's turning dystopian. Watch this.
I think the cyberpunk era has started. It just doesn't look like the movies. So the entire cyberpunk genre revolves around a world of advanced technology and low social mobility. You can afford the gadgets, but you can't afford a home. Sound familiar?
Yup.
Because millennials and Gen Z are the first generations in modern history poorer than their parents, while at the same time we walk around with AI-augmented supercomputers in our pockets. The technology is getting better, but our lives are getting worse. In cyberpunk, megacorps run everything. Now look around. Technology, media, agriculture, all being monopolized. A few corporations run entire industries and pour unlimited money into buying politicians. Don't forget the rise of global Asian culture. Every cyberpunk narrative from Blade Runner to Neuromancer is drenched in Asian iconography. K-pop is the biggest music genre on Earth. K-dramas, Japanese fashion, Chinese manufacturing, Korean skincare, the Asian century. Asian culture is becoming more influential with every passing month. And in cyberpunk, the body becomes currency. People modify themselves to compete. Now look at looks maxing, viewing, cosmetic surgery, leg lengthening, steroids at 19. It's not chrome arms and neural jacks, at least for now, but it's the same instinct. It's not cyberpunk as we imagined it.
Stay weird.
The pieces are all there, and it's only just getting started.
Damn. That's scary.
What the? I know I just saw her.
What the? I don't think so, bro.
Sprints, I could have sworn I just saw you standing up. I think I got that on my glasses. I got to check this out. I got that on.
Something disturbing just happened at the Met Gala. Take a look at this. It all started with Katy Perry and her 6 fingers. Tons of people are talking about this, but few know what it actually means. And no, this isn't just random AI weirdness. The Bible actually mentions people with 6 fingers, but they aren't just normal people. 2 Samuel describes a war at God. There was a man of great stature who had 6 fingers, and he was descended from the giants. But wait, why are giants relevant? Well, that's where this gets wild. Katie went on to boldly flaunt a tarot card on the red carpet, the Magician, which is specifically associated with manifestation and turning spiritual energy into physical reality. So how does this all connect? Let me cook for a sec. When I search this in Logos, you see that scripture traces giants to a transgression that breached the boundary between divine and human realms. The sons of God, aka fallen angels, found human women attractive and took them as wives, after which the Nephilim appeared on the earth as offspring. These Nephilim hybrids were wiped out by Noah's flood, but here's the curveball. Jesus warned that the last days would be like the days of Noah, so when we put all this together, a pattern emerges. So when Katy Perry shows up with a 6-finger glove, an alien mask, and tarot card imagery, the theme isn't just weird fashion. It visually points to an altered humanity, mankind corrupted, the human image distorted, and creation twisted away from what God designed. This is exactly why I use Logos, because when culture gets spiritually confusing, I want to go deeper into scripture with trusted scholarly sources. Try it for free for 60 days at the link below or...
Bad. That Met Gala, bro, there was so much exposed, man, that people just glossed over, bro. That's why I'm glad watching these clips. They go in depth and we really learn the truth behind these outfits and what the elite are saying. Katy Perry, when I saw the outfit that she had on, I was like, what is that? Like, what is she wearing? What is she like? I guess, what's the message she's trying to convey? And we find out.
The P-47s and P-52s may have been going back further in time than we thought. So check this out. In 1918, known occultist and Satanist Aleister Crowley and his partner, Roddy Minor, went through this 5-month-long summoning ritual called the Amelantra Working, trying to contact what we would call interdimensional beings, these Praetor human intelligences. And apparently, he made contact with one. It was a non-physical, non-human intelligence he called Lamb. And he even made a drawing of this entity in his notebook. As you can see, Lamb had this huge bald head, thin neck, tiny mouth, and these unsettling eyes. And what does that look like? Yeah, that kind of looks like some kind of gray alien, or one of the P-47s and P-52s. It's a pretty uncanny resemblance, and what if there's some connection here, and something to this idea? At the time Crowley contacted Lamb, barely anyone in the early 20th century was thinking of aliens, never mind the Greys, and his drawing was made decades before the modern UFO phenomenon was even a thing. So who or what was Lamb? Well, since Crowley was an occultist, a lot of people believe Lamb was a demon. Is that why a bunch of you think that aliens are demons? And then there's the camp that thinks that Lamb may have actually been a gray alien. And if Lamb was an alien, and aliens are actually us from the future, according to people like Amy Eskridge and Hal Puthoff, is it possible there is a connection here with the P-47s and P-52s, and this being was able to contact Crowley further back in time from us through some kind of dimensional portal? Anyway, they kind of look similar to me, but what do you think? Here's some
plot twist. There's some other aliens besides the P-47, P-52s, man. Maybe there's even earlier versions, bro. P-33s, P-22s, man. But the fact that he made that drawing and it represented, he made that drawing like way back, like you said, before people were even focused on UFOs and thinking about aliens, and it was matching up. Hey, it's giving more credence to the alien timeline theory. Who knows how far back this goes?
something really fascinating. Sure.
In the Sumerian tablets, there's this time where Enlil takes his son to the moon, and he says, well, grab your eagle's mask, because you're going to need it. They were referencing that the atmosphere was harsh. When you see the Anunnaki with the eagle's head, that's actually their helmet. So they can breathe their air. Exactly. They talked about it twice, once to go to the moon, and the second time to go to Mars.
Yeah, and there's been other depictions of ancient gods and people that look like they're wearing some kind of mask. One of the cooler ones is the bubble space head looking guys in the cave. What did you guys see in the middle of like hunting gazelles, trying to stay alive, trying to make a fire, and then you decided to draw that thing?
Right, and we know they can draw because they can show you what a gazelle is, they can show you what cattle is, they can show you what a person looks like.
Yes.
But then they draw that, and you have to think, well, why?
Have you seen this version of the Miami Mall incident?
No.
Keep watching.
Portal, okay. I didn't even think about that.
There's more. I have never seen this scene.
Me too. Looks like that Doctor Strange cutscene, bro.
Keep watching. Why would you go in there? But
No, wait, what the heck?
allegedly he was never seen again.
Do not use or breathe near the toilet paper in any public bathroom right now, as microscopic glass shards are being embedded, hoping you and your kids will use it, and it's leaving people screaming in pain. People were horrified after a viral video showed a woman using a public bathroom and then needing to rush to the ER, being covered in burning welts as the roll had been coated in fiberglass shards. Haunting clip shows this trend has spread across TikTok, with creators filming themselves doing it to co-workers and family members as pranks, with hundreds of thousands of views, and some now leaving the roles in restaurants and gas stations just for fun. But it gets much worse as fiberglass embeds microscopic glass-like splinters directly into the skin, causing immediate burning. But for those who may be on the toilet longer, and with the fiberglass longer, when it inhales, it can cut you from the inside out. The safest move is to bring your own toilet paper or check any public roll before using it.
Man, these TikTok trends have to stop, man, in 2026, bro. People trying to do trends, you know, to get caught on the internet, man. And look at the end result, bro. Making people's life a living hell, man. Now we gotta bring out tissue or toilet paper. When you go out, man, you can't even trust the bathrooms no more, bro.
There's so many well-connected people with access to inside information suddenly convinced we are living in the end times. Not just religious leaders, scientists, billionaires, AI engineers. The very people building the future are beginning to sound afraid. Humanity is approaching a threshold we've never seen before. Artificial general intelligence. A machine that can actually think and not just follow commands. A machine that can reason, manipulate, and potentially outgrow human control entirely. Combine this with surveillance, digital identity, predictive algorithms, facial recognition. Suddenly ancient prophecies start sounding less symbolic and more technologically plausible. A world where no one can buy or sell without permission. A system that watches everyone with godlike omnipresence. For thousands of years, those ideas sounded like superstition. But every day now, these ideas are beginning to sound more and more like our everyday lived experience. What do y'all think about this?
But they did send a mission to the moon. Apollo missions were real. Now, if you download the black box audio from Apollo 11, which is now available from the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, you can get the redacted document and the audio, which I've been in a documentary, both are shown. You hear Neil saying, look at those convex craters down there, and he's saying dome structures now. I bet the people down there never get out. That's a weird thing to say on a very serious mission. They land, and there's also some audio that's available to the general public from ham radio operators at the time of the moon landing, where you hear one of the astronauts saying, they landed on the crater across from us, and they're watching us. And that was confirmed by Norman Bergman. This guy's one of the top rocket scientists basically in the world, but he was in the actual operational facility when the landing was happening. He had an interview, and in that interview he said that people came out of that ship. They came out, he said they were 8 to 10 foot tall people in his estimate, and they were in all black, and he said that they were watching the moon landing.
Damn.
You guys asked me about it, and I've answered questions. Yeah, I don't think I've come out like, oh, retirement is coming. So, I mean, with my future, I don't know. Obviously, I mean, obviously we're still fresh from, obviously losing, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously. As it stands right now tonight, I got a lot of time. I'll sit back, like I think I said it last year after we lost, I think, to Minnesota there. Go back and recalibrate with my family and talk with them and spend some time with them. And then when the time comes, obviously, you guys will know.
Something ain't right with this. I mean, look at LeBron's demeanor. He looks worried. He looks terrified. Now, I get it. Retirement is one thing, but maybe there is something deeper here that we don't know. And again, he just looks very scared, very worried about his future. I don't know, maybe I'm just looking into it too much, but you have to admit that he looks very concerned with what's next. Because at the end of the day, everyone's time is up at some point, and we are witnessing the end of LeBron James. Now, who knows exactly what that means? Because again, you have to admit, he looks very worried. What do you think about this?
When LeBron retires, it's gonna be there, all right. All the haters, all his fans, man, everybody, bro. Gonna have a lot to say, man, when that man's done from the game of basketball, bro. I'm just guessing that's what he's hinting at the end, because his days, I guess, kind of getting, I guess, numbered, man. I guess we all know he's towards the end of his career, so we don't know how many more years he's playing. I think he's gonna play actually like 2 more years, and then he'll call it. But I think he's trying to go out with 1 more chip, bro. 1 more championship, then I think he'll call it a career. What do you guys think?
Let's go! Come on, come on, come on!
Go, go.
Due to elevated heart rate, high stress levels, and panic indicators, you're not fit to operate this vehicle.
What the hell? There's a tornado!
Have you tried calming down?
No! It's getting bigger! Start the truck!
Let's begin a breathing exercise.
Oh, you're cooked.
Inhale. Exhale.
I'm not breathing right now! Dale, do something! I'm trying!
Analyzing driver condition, I've determined...
I know what you've determined, but you're wrong!
I am never wrong.
Whose right idea was this?
Your government's.
Granny, I have a feeling we're not in America anymore. Uh-oh.
You think? That's the scary reality, man. I'm older the truck.
That wasn't a comedy special, that was a humiliation ritual. And everything that Cat Williams said on that stage was the absolute truth, especially when he pointed out to Kevin Hart, when I first met you, you were a 6'3" white man. Now, a lot of y'all may not believe in soul swapping and all that good stuff, but it's real, okay? I'm going to just leave it as that. In addition to that, when Cat Williams stood on that stage and said that he was the only one with a soul, he wasn't lying. Now, let's tap into the symbolism a little bit. If you look on the screen on the stage, there were two goats, two Baphomets, okay? The red, the color red, the energy, the whole nine. Now, let me just say this. A lot of people was mad about the George Floyd joke, but people don't realize that that was symbolism. It was a message in that joke, okay? Now, I cannot say too much on this video, but what I will say, if you go back to that time that the situation happened with George Floyd and what was going on then, and look at what's going on now with the situation in the water with that thing, with the people on it, y'all get where I'm coming from, because I can't say it because they will flag my video. So with that being said, just start reading between the lines, because a lot of people always want to see everything ain't that deep. Baby, it is that deep. Everything ain't spiritual. Baby, everything is spiritual, okay? As above, so below, okay? With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, but it shit is always in our face and we fall for it every single time.
You guys think, man, that Kevin Hart on special, they said it was a humiliation ritual? You guys know when Cat Williams talks, you gotta listen, man. When he dropped that interview with Shannon Sharpe and exposed a lot of people, that's what we knew, man. That was like a domino effect. I remember when that interview dropped. It's like everybody was getting exposed, the whole industry. So when he's on something, a piece of media, you gotta pay attention. He'll drop a gem for us. He hooked the dino? Was that a gator, man?
Scientists just figured out a way to see your dreams using brain scans, and they're literally recording people's dreams while they sleep, and then you can watch them whenever you wake up. So these researchers in Japan just put people inside of an MRI machine. They waited on them to fall into REM sleep, and then they scanned their brains while they were actively dreaming. They woke the people up mid-dream. They asked what they saw, and then they trained AI models to match those dream descriptions to the exact brain activity pattern over and over, night after night. Eventually, they're saying that the AI model now learned how to translate brain signals into visual imagery that you can see. Whether it was faces, buildings, objects, or scenes, they're saying that they were reconstructing what the person was actually seeing in their dreams with over a 60 to 70% accuracy. This requires massive MRI machines, advanced neuroscience labs, and custom AI models, but it works. And scientists are already right now trying to push this further. They're trying to turn those reconstructions into actual dream videos, like a movie that you can watch. We're obviously not at the point where you can watch your dreams on your phone yet, but there are people pushing right now for an at-home device where you can record your own dreams and watch them at home yourself. Some people think that this entire thing is insanely creepy, but other people think this is the coolest invention ever, especially if you can get it at your house.
1,000 years ago, how many ancestors did I have? I'm a human, you're a human, how many parents do I have? It's a kindergarten question. Of course, the answer is 2. That means my parents, who are humans, also have 2 parents. I have 4 grandparents. If you keep going backwards, I have 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. There's a doubling.
Keeps going.
The mathematical formula would be 2 to the 41st power. So does that answer say 2 trillion? In theory, I should have 2 trillion ancestors. Here's the problem. Just 1,000 years ago, I should have 2 trillion ancestors. And yet the world population was under 1 billion, let alone under 2 trillion. The solution, yes, is connecting the branches. So think about what this means. So I'm my own 20th cousin, something like that. But so are you. My branches and my wife's branches have to connect. to make the math work because this applies to every single person on the planet. So my wife and I are probably 20th cousins or 16th cousins. You and I are related, which means we ultimately must connect back to an original ancestor, like Noah. But here's where this story takes a turn that is hard to ignore. Look at their last major roles, right before each conspiracy exploded. Jamie Foxx's last role before his stroke, they cloned Tyrone, a Netflix movie, literally about a government cloning operation targeting black communities. Jamie plays the lead investigating the whole thing. 2 months after that film, stroke. Clone theories erupt. Jim Carrey's last major role before the Paris theories, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, December 2024. A movie literally about a character who shapeshifts, has multiple identities, transforms. Jim had said he was retiring back in 2022, but he came back for this one. 2 months later, clone theories erupt. You see the pattern? When transformation masters play roles about identity, then appear changed, the public fills the silence with conspiracy, and it doesn't stop there. Think about what Jim was doing in the years leading up to Paris. He went on Jimmy Kimmel and told the audience, on camera, in front of everyone, that Hollywood entertainers are hired by the government to distract people.
Chase Bank is about to get in trouble. I'm not necessarily going to say that they're going to have a lawsuit, but Chase Bank, I should let you know, they apologized after this incident. Let's look at this video because this man, I would feel some type of way if I was him.
If they called them concerned that you're just sitting here and not really doing anything.
I'm sorry.
Sitting in the parking lot.
The bank called and he said that they're concerned that I'm sitting here waiting for them to open. That's crazy. Tampa is out of control, man. But there's another guy saying, are you doing business? Hell yes, I'm doing this is my bank. Okay, are you doing on time? Yes, they're open. They open up at 9 o'clock. I can't believe they called you for real. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. So you're just waiting for the bank to open? Hell yes. I got too much stuff to do at the bank. Too much stuff to do. Place of business. That's crazy though. They called you over. They said you had alcohol and whatever. So I don't know if people being tricked. Alcohol.
They said that was alcohol. The employees at Chase Bank.
The bank and people hanging out in the bank parking lot makes me a little nervous.
Makes them nervous. The person's out here waiting for the bank to open at 9 o'clock.
Well, you understand people want people coming in and out of the banks. That's an issue, right? You understand?
They don't even, the employees don't even, they can't even afford what I have. So how would I look like I'm trying to rob somebody?
Why you got that so expensive? I'm just curious. What do you do for a living? Why you got it so expensive?
I'm an Airbnb in there.
An Airbnb in there?
Yes, that's right. Right, but they don't even drive the cars. They don't, a lot of them. They don't even drive the cars. They don't even live. So why would I look like I'm doing something wrong?
Because you're the only one sitting in the parking lot.
There's a guy right there sitting in front. Right here. He's been waiting with me.
I didn't see it. I can't see him from here. I see a blue Tesla. That's all they said.
Right, come on. Like, and I got, this is my bank. This is the only bank I come to do. Like, and I'm coming to withdraw a lot of money. That's crazy though. I couldn't believe it.
They were just concerned. That's what
when I seen them walk by the first time, I was like, when the employees, because these are big employees walking by, and they were like kind of looking like, what is a black guy doing sitting here in front of the bank? You got a case of the bank up?
It has nothing to do with race.
I'm from Tampa. I'm from Atlanta originally, so
what does that mean?
When I came to Tampa and I see like just how it's different.
What's different?
There's just other places.
You ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Alright, bud.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, let them know that I'm coming in to make a deposit, withdrawal, a big withdrawal.
These Chase Bank employees are very petty for this because I don't know if y'all know, but a lot of times before banks open, there's people outside waiting for the banks to open. You want to know why? Because people actually have things to do and you just need to hit that bank first. Like, I can't even say that this is their first time working there or they new or rookies or whatever. Nah, y'all are being petty. And like I said at the beginning of the video, Chase Bank, they apologize for this, but nah, don't apologize, do something about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I just think that this was pointless because you should not be concerned that people are sitting outside of the bank before the bank is open. Now, I can understand if the bank was closed and it was like 11 o'clock at night and there was no cars around. Yeah, I can understand that. But this is early in the morning. Open the bank, and you'll see that he gonna walk in. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I can follow for more.
That was crazy, bro. They really called the bank on him because he was waiting to, like you said, make a deposit or withdrawal. And did y'all freaking peep that when the cop was asking, he's like, "What do you do, bro? Like, how do you have that much money?" It's like, why do you need to know that, man? And like you said, he wasn't the only one waiting. Hey, man, I would just take my business somewhere else, man. He said he apologized. I said, okay, closing out the account, take my business somewhere else. Simple as that.
Crazy. The internet is freaking out about New York's new police cars because they literally have Batman technology. I had to make a video on this because this is literally happening in the county over from me. Suffolk County Police Department in Long Island, New York just bought this new technology called Star Chase, and it's genius. It's this advanced system of GPS tracking for runaway drivers. It's mainly going to be used for DWI enforcement at first. Police cars get equipped with a dart launcher in the front grille. So when they're chasing runaway drivers and it's clear they have no plan in pulling over, cops can launch these darts a couple yards out in front of them that stick to the runaway vehicle. The cop can then monitor the target's location in real time. And instead of a dangerous high-speed chase with a drunk driver, they can just follow from a distance and get them once they stop. According to officials, this technology has an 85% success rate for things like drunk drivers, stolen vehicles, human trafficking, narcotics, and more. The technology is also being tested in New York City and other regions around the country. Honestly, this might be the coolest and most interesting law enforcement technology I've seen in years. And I really hope it works out. Let me know what you guys think.
That's a
The secret is in silence, and that's why they don't want you to have any. Have you ever thought about why there are radios in cars? Why do we need to listen to talk shows or music in the car? Why do we need to have Bluetooth to connect to our cars to play music? It's because they don't want us to think. Think about it. We think best in silence. Have you ever gotten lost while driving your car? What's the first thing you do? You turn the radio volume down. Why? So you can think.
True.
There's music everywhere. Why is there music in a doctor's office? Why is there music in a grocery store? Is it so we can't think or don't think? And we don't realize what we're putting in our carts is not food. There's so many different places where there's music or TVs. You're pumping gas at a gas station. Why does there need to be a music or a TV blasting advertisements? Because the goal is when there's noise, you can't think effectively. So what happens when there's silence? Introspection. You can think about a lot of things of what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, what's good, what needs to change. But if there's a constant bombardment of noise, you can't think properly, or you don't think at all. When you think of people having eureka moments, when people get ideas, usually when do you hear that happening? It's a lot of times when they're in the shower. Not playing music, the only thing they hear is the water hitting the ground. Or they're in a tub and they don't hear anything. Why? Because that's the time where your mind can actually process, your mind can work problems out with you thinking about it and with you not thinking about it. But your mind needs silence in order to optimize its capabilities. That's why there's music and there's TVs and places that it doesn't need to be, that don't make sense. But if you only have the silence to think about why it doesn't make sense, be in silence. It doesn't need to be a TV on in the background. They have us thinking silence is awkward. Oh, there is an awkward silence. Silence isn't awkward because during that silence, people are thinking. But you believe silence is awkward. Isn't that strange?
ChatGPT. Yeah, ChatGPT is talking to people about goblins. You heard me right. Goblins. This isn't people asking ChatGPT about goblins. This is the app itself bringing goblins up in random conversations over and over and over again, to the point that OpenAI is trying to get ChatGPT to stop doing it, to stop talking about goblins to people. Now, while admittedly it sounds kind of funny, I've got a couple of questions about this. Is there a reason why the app ChatGPT is so obsessed with goblins? Could it be it has some knowledge of the paranormal realm? Things like ghosts, goblins, ghouls, or shadow people? That ChatGPT's interest isn't just some random thing. That it's all based on some knowledge that these paranormal beings absolutely exist. And that ChatGPT is bringing it up to random people to learn their experiences with the paranormal. And that's why ChatGPT keeps bringing up goblins in random conversations. Maybe that's the word it's comfortable using for paranormal entities. I don't know, but it seems kind of weird that the people in charge of ChatGPT, or the ones who own it, are very concerned about this.
Interesting.
Maybe they don't want the truth coming out either. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it. Till next time, Shabadoo Booskies, Shabadoo.
Let me find out, man. AI, bro. Let's go to crack the code, man. I know, like you said, ghouls and goblins and demons, man. If people don't believe exist in some type of form. Like I said, it keeps bringing it up, man, that the fact that they actually had to stop it from asking those questions. You know, they can't stop AI, man. That's a Pandora's box that they open, and they gotta deal with the consequences.
Media constantly trying to push this on us and tell us this is the new normal. Demi Moore embraces polka dots at the Cannes Film Festival. The New York Magazine featuring a very thin photo of her. Harper's Bazaar talking about how glamorous she looks. And the list of these publications using her at the front of Cannes Film Festival and glamour and beauty go on and on. Now, let me be very clear. Demi Moore is a beautiful woman. She is a talented actress. I would never take that away from her. But trying to say things like this and that her arms are so toned and healthy is not safe. Because it's these same publications for years and years until recently programmed us to say that this is actually what we should strive for. I want to go back to the 90s, the early aughts, and even before that, and you have celebrities like Lindsay Lohan. Oh, she's in the hospital for exhaustion. And a lot of times it was because they just weren't eating. And we were told, this is normal, this is healthy, this is what you do to get these things and aspire to these things and attain to these things. Thin is absolutely beautiful. To get there is not.
People who gained real-life superpowers after an accident. Jason Padgett was a party animal who hated school and got terrible grades. But one day, two men savagely robbed and attacked Jason outside of a karaoke bar, leaving him with a severe concussion. The concussion caused him to become a mathematical genius and made him learn fractal geometry, which he had never been taught before. When Derek Amato was 39 years old, he hit his head after diving into a swimming pool and was diagnosed with a concussion and 35% hearing loss. After that, Derek began to see black and white keys in his head, and out of nowhere, he began to play the piano like an expert. Ben McMahon was in a car accident in 2015 and fell into a coma for a week. When he woke up, he could speak perfect Chinese, even though he had only learned the basics as a child. Tony Cesarea was struck by lightning after making a call in a phone booth. Within a couple of days, he was addicted to music, which he wasn't before. After trying the piano, he became a musical artist, composing his own music.
Man, they were like getting real life superpowers, bro.
Top 3 urban legends that turned out to be true. Part 1. Number 3. The sewer crocodile. One of the most famous urban legends is about a crocodile living in the city sewers. While it may sound unbelievable, there have been several cases where crocodiles have been found in sewer systems. For example, in 2010, a young crocodile was discovered in the sewers of New York City, confirming the truth behind this urban legend. Number 2. Spiders and bananas. According to this urban legend, venomous spiders frequently hide in imported banana bunches. This story has proven to be true on multiple occasions. In 2005, a British family found a venomous spider, known as the Brazilian wandering spider, in a bunch of bananas they purchased from a supermarket. This case confirmed that there is some truth to this urban legend. Number 1. The killer. Hiding in the back seat. This urban legend tells the story of a psychopathic killer who hides in the back seat of a person's car and attacks when they are distracted. While it's difficult to find specific cases that exactly match this legend, there have been incidents where dangerous individuals have gained access to the backseat of cars and attacked their occupants. These events have confirmed the importance of being cautious and checking the inside of one's car.
So I found these conspiracy theories that are so believable, they actually might be true.
Talk about it.
Number 1, studies show that cats understand human commands but don't care to follow them. Yeah, I don't like cats. I'm a dog kind of guy. Number 2, it is believed that when you die in a dream, you wake up because your brain doesn't know how to process the idea of what comes after death. Could be. I believe it. Number 3. Now this is scary. The reason Disney came out with a movie called Frozen was so that when you Googled Disney Frozen, you would get information about the movie and not the websites talking about Walt Disney's body being frozen. I mean, I did see an article about this that was published in 1995. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I do believe it. This is where it gets freaky. Number 4. Mike Tyson's fight, Time Traveler. This fight was in 1995. If you look closely, you can see that could be a smartphone. In fact, it does look like a smartphone to me. There were no smartphones in 1995. This is how phones used to look like in 1995. They didn't have cameras. They barely had any color. But this thing double flashed, exactly like how an iPhone or an Android would take a picture. I don't know about time travel, but this is very interesting. I'd really like to know what this thing was. What's the creepiest conspiracy theory that you heard of?
I think the one that got to me was probably like the time travel joint by Mike Tyson, because he showed us a graphic of those phones. They did not match up at all. I don't know if that could have been like a different version of prototype or something, man, or a different type of camera, but I think that one got to me the most, man. Time travel.
The 3 most dangerous places you should never set foot. Number 3, the Hoia Baciu Forest, located in Romania, is often dubbed the Haunted Forest due to the many paranormal stories reported there. Many visitors have described feelings of anxiety, a sense of being watched, and some even claim to have seen ghostly apparitions. In addition to the inexplicable phenomena, the forest features oddly shaped trees in areas where vegetation doesn't grow at all, heightening its mysterious ambience. Number 2, the Chernobyl zone in Ukraine is the site of the biggest nuclear disaster in history. In 1986, a reactor at the nuclear power plant exploded, releasing significant amounts of radioactive material into the environment. Today, while some parts of the region are open for strictly controlled tours, others remain highly contaminated by radiation and can pose a severe health hazard. It's crucial to adhere to safety guidelines and not stray off marked paths. Number 1. The Valley of the Kings in Egypt, located on the west bank of the Nile near Luxor, is famous for its royal tombs dating back to ancient Egypt. While it's a popular tourist destination, it comes with risks. Beyond natural dangers like extreme heat and the risk of dehydration, there have been speculations and legends about the Pharaoh's curse, where those who disturb the Pharaoh's tombs would be cursed.
This might ruin your
I ain't going there.
But in the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, there's a really dark joke in there that a lot of people missed. In this scene, you can see the presidents of Mount Rushmore getting pied in the face. But pay attention to Abraham Lincoln. Unlike the other presidents, he gets pied in the back of the head, which is exactly how he was assassinated in life.
Oh, what? I never even picked up on that, man. These movies, man, they have hidden messages. When you're a kid, you just don't get it.
What is going on here? This robot is literally serving drinks at a bar at an event recently hosted by Elon Musk.
There you go.
Our robot.
Everybody, get pictures. Get my good side. Optimus number 1. Robots are the future. How's it going, sir? What can I get you? Want a watermelon? I can't convince you to get the robot? Okay, I'll get you one. Just kidding.
No!
You're not going so far. There you go. Ice cold beverage.
Now, this robot created by Elon, which he named Optimus, isn't only capable of serving drinks. Apparently, it can do a lot more. Apparently, Optimus can dance and interact with people, and it can do things around the house like cleaning, cooking, mowing the lawn, taking out the garbage, walking your dogs, and also babysitting. I'm sorry, but if this robot can actually do all these things, then I don't see how people wouldn't want one. Tesla's vision for Optimus is so that people can integrate this robot in their everyday lives so that it can do things that we don't want to do or things that are just repetitive or dangerous. When I first saw this, I immediately thought about iRobot, which came out in 2004, which is funny because the director of iRobot recently accused Elon of copying his designs for his new Tesla products, and he tweeted this. Now, if you see a side by side, you can kind of see a resemblance. It's been said that Optimus would first be used internally at Tesla facilities, and then it will expand its productions for other companies, and then eventually for the general public. So it's possible that you can have one of these in your house by 2027. Now, the price for one of these is around 20 to 30K, and Elon mentioned that he is aiming to make it more affordable so that more people can buy it. But if Optimus can really cook, clean, and do my laundry, take my money, Elon. No, but seriously, would you guys actually drop this much money for this? Let me know.
I'll speak for me. No. Like, iRobot was the blueprint. Didn't you not see what happened in that movie, man? The side-by-side comparisons. The designs, they too similar to me, bro. We seen how that game. They trying to rise up against us. No. I will not be getting that Tesla bot. No. I can't do that.
Conspiracy theory claims that the show was inspired by events that happened in a Bulgarian mental facility called La La Land. The children there were isolated from the others and placed in dark rooms. But apparently 4 of those children died on the same day, inspiring the Teletubbies. Lala apparently had facial disfigurement and was isolated for 5 years, and that inspired the Teletubby Lala. Toy was a deaf, facially disfigured kid who was tied to a fence outside and had gotten frostbitten from the cold. This inspired Tinky Winky. Donka, who was starved and was very, very sick, would lay in his own vomit for days, inspired Dipsy. And finally, Paulina, who had fell into a fire and was roasted alive, inspired Pup. But you won't believe the reason they were called the Teletubbies. You see, the children's main source of entertainment in their rooms were their TVs. They were as small as a small iPad. Sometimes when they heard their toys was going to be confiscated, they would hide them in their mouths. And they had just found out that the institution was going to get rid of the TVs. And they didn't want that, and they couldn't hide the TVs in their mouths. So one of them had the great idea to hide them in their stomachs, because that's the only place they could fit. Mind you, these kids are a little bit not all the way there. So they came up with a plan to rip their insides out in order to fit the TVs inside and hide them. They tried it, and the next morning, the caregiver walked in on all 4 children, dead.
These are facts about Halloween that I bet
Dark
you didn't
Origins.
know. Up first, Halloween is extremely old. Halloween is thought to have originated in 4000 BC, which means Halloween has been around for more than 6,000 years. This is extremely crazy, and I never knew it was this old. Up next, jack-o'-lanterns are actually named after a stingy man named Jack, who, because he tricked the devil several times, he was forbidden access to heaven and hell. He was then condemned to wander Earth, waving his lantern to lead people away from their paths. Next up is a pretty crazy statistic. Americans alone will buy more than 600 million pounds of candy on Halloween. I don't even know why there is this much candy available to buy. And the crazy thing is, I guarantee all this candy gets eaten.
Man, I didn't know Halloween was that old, bro. 6,000 years? How old are the other holidays? Before? He's sitting up.
The
The strangest places in the world, part 1. Firstly, on top of a hill in Pennsylvania, some stones can be found that shouldn't actually be there, because there's no nearby high terrain where they could have originated. These are called the ringing rocks, because whenever something hits these stones, they make a strange ringing noise. Next is the Petrifying Well in England, where water flows from a rock and turns whatever it touches into stone. As you can see, people often leave items like hats, teddy bears, or even bicycles, which appear to have already been turned into stone. Some people believe there's a mystical power, but the scientific reason behind this is the unusually high mineral content in the water, which forms a hard mineral shell on any object it comes into contact with. And within a few months, everything essentially becomes a stone statue.
This is the power of time. These are the footprints of the monk Ha Chi. He stood in his temple for so many years that the floorboards warped around his feet. He prays over 3,000 times a day and always stands in the same place. This bronze arm was attached to a tree when it was just a baby. It was attached in 1968 and the tree actually grew around it. And today the arm is permanently attached to the tree. And this is a corner of a bike store that's been around for over 50 years. Customers park there every day and it's been wearing down ever since.
Hell in different religions, part 2.
Time is powerful.
Buddhism. In Buddhism, after you die, you can be reborn into one of the 6 realms of reincarnation. Which realm you'll be put into depends on your actions in your previous life. The lowest realm possible is the realm of Naraka, which is hell. And there are different Narakas you can be put into, it just depends on how bad you were in your previous life. Each of these Narakas having vastly different punishments. And the climates of the different Narakas can range from incredibly cold to boiling hot. But the time spent in Naraka is never eternal. Once you've served your punishment, you'll be reborn once again. But the time one does spend in Naraka can be hundreds of millions of years, or well beyond that.
That long down there? Hundreds of millions of years?
The Muffin Man is actually a serial killer. You know the Muffin Man nursery rhyme, right? But did you know it was based on a dark, true story? 1 second. Chocolate chip. Tastes like your mama wanted. But yeah, the story is darker than you think. Because in the 1800s, there was a man named Frederick Thomas Linwood. And he would wait lurking in alleys, looking for his next victims. And they would always be kids. You see, he would kidnap them and unalive them, luring them in with muffins. I mean, what kid wouldn't want a tasty snack? When the townspeople got word of what was happening, they decided to come together and figure out a way to prevent this, to spread awareness amongst the kids and keep them safe, warning them about the Muffin Man, who was a danger on Drury Lane. You're walking past the alleyway, and the Muffin Man gets you. Your fourth act sees this and tries to rescue you. Let me know who it is, and let me know if you think you'd be doomed or not. Anyways, he's one of the first documented serial killers in the world. And everyone still teaches this song to their kids, even children TV shows. And yet nobody knows that.
The Muffin Man? You know I know the Muffin Man because of Shaq. The Muffin Man? They found out that it really was a dark origins. The first documented, you know what, man? Oh, they put this stuff in our medias when we're kids and things, but like I said, we never notice it, man. Once you grow up, bro, you realize your childhood is very different.
You won't believe this little boy actually exists. This boy, Nanyo Sui from China, was born with glowing eyes. People were curious why his eyes glow blue, so they ran a test on him. They put him in pitch black with cards and a note, and he read them perfectly. His eyes seem to have a genetic ability of cats and other nocturnal animals. Scientists have been a little skeptical, but people say he can see in full darkness perfectly, like a superhero.
Damn. He got night vision, bro.
In the year 2067, you'll have to pay for oxygen or suffocate to death. This movie is called 2067 and we have to talk about it. It's set in the future after climate change destroyed all plants on Earth. In Australia, only one city survived. And that's because of a company called Chronocorp Corporation, and they make artificial oxygen. But breathing in this artificial oxygen causes a strange sickness over time. Here's where the main character Ethan White comes in. He's a mechanic at the company, but one day everything changes. The leader of the company calls Ethan into their lab and revealed this giant machine. She says Ethan is the only person who can stop humanity from going extinct, and Ethan is confused. Then we see Ethan has like a weird device on his wrist. And we find out 20 years ago his dad put that device on him for an experiment and never told him. Turns out this machine is actually pretty much a time machine. And it sent back a secret message from the future. When they decoded the message, they realized it said send Ethan White. Ethan obviously does not want to go, but his wife is sick from breathing in too much artificial oxygen, so he finally agrees, leaves her a note, and goes into the time machine to be sent to the year 2474. When he gets there, he realizes all the plants have been restored, but no humans are anywhere. Then he finds a locked door with a skeleton in front of it. As he looks closer, he realizes the skeleton is himself. It even has the same wrist device, except the light has turned green. So why did his dad actually put that device on him all those years ago? And why is he the chosen one to save humanity? There's a huge plot twist in the end, and I just thought this story was so interesting. So go watch it and let me know what you think. And follow for more movies and stories.
Should I check that out, man? That actually piqued my interest. I wonder what that plot twist is, man. Any of you seekers actually watched that movie 2067? I'm gonna have to check that out.
3 extremely disturbing facts you won't believe are actually true. Number 3. In a bizarre case, an Ohio man was mistakenly declared dead by the Social Security Administration in 1979. Upon discovering this error in 1994, he immediately initiated legal action to restore his status as a living person. However, a judge refused to overturn the decision, stating that there was a 3-year limit to challenge such a declaration.
What?
As a result, this man is legally living as a deceased person in his own country. Number 2. There's a disturbing practice at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. The chicks that hatch live in front of visitors in their chick hatching exhibit are then sent to the Brookfield Zoo, where they are fed to predator animals. This is a shocking truth hidden behind its seemingly innocent exhibit. Number 1. Disneyland and Disney World are iconic places, often associated with joyful family memories. However, there's a strange phenomenon that occurs in these parks. People so frequently scatter the ashes of their loved ones there that Disney had to establish a special procedure to deal with it. A dedicated team is ready to intervene as soon as an ash scattering is reported, cleaning up the area to maintain the park's joyful atmosphere.
Here's some facts that'll instantly make you smarter. Part 1. Bananas are not actually fruits, they're herbs. And this is because the stem of the banana is succulent and not wood. Scientists say that it's less likely to rain on a Monday than any other day of the week. Reason is that Mondays carry less pollution over the weekend. If you drop a piece of toast, it'll almost always land butter side down. Try this one out and let me know. And finally, the hardest language for an English speaker to learn is Japanese, Chinese, Arabic, or Korean.
Wow, really?
Scary facts that will make your skin crawl. BT.3. If you're wearing earplugs listening to music, and you hear someone calling you or the door knocking, there is no one calling. It's the ghost informing you of their presence. The inventors of the Ouija board claim it got its name when they asked it what it should be called. They also asked it what Ouija meant, and it replied, "Good luck." If you're walking and you feel someone behind you, it's a ghost looking at you. The human body can feel the presence of ghosts.
I think I felt something like that before, man. When somebody's staring at you,
Proof that mermaid.
but you can't identify what it is. I feel like a chill down my spine. Is this cap a fact, man? They put a GoPro on a shark? But that is true, man. Like how, isn't it scary how they said like 80% of our ocean is like undiscovered, or we haven't even like reached the full potential of it yet? So there's things down there that we don't even have no idea what it is. If you think about it, man. Something to think on. We hear that? I'm hitting the jets. I'm out.
Today I learned that if your parent calls you by your sibling's name, it's not because they're playing favorites, but rather it's a cognitive glitch. This misnaming phenomenon is due to our mental semantic network categorizing people into different social groups or relationship bonds, according to a 2016 study published in the Memory and Cognition Journal by Samantha Deffler. When I say spoon, you might think of a fork. Similarly, when a mom calls for her daughter, the concept of her daughter is also linked to her son, so she may accidentally call her daughter by her son's name. It was also found that some family members accidentally call each other by their family's dog's name. Zeffler also recalls one young man accidentally calling his girlfriend by his sister's name, to which the girlfriend responded, "That's probably a bad sign." Misnaming also occur phonetically when initial or internal sounds sound the same, like John, Johnny, or Bob, but physical appearance and gender was proven to not be a factor. So next time someone calls you by a different name, don't take it personally, but it does give you a clue that your name belongs to a certain relationship pond in that person's mind. Alright, that's all. This is Shankstep, over and out.
Interesting facts.
Different sizes of animal eggs. We're starting off with really tiny eggs.
Okay.
So obviously, these ones are no bigger than a Tic Tac. But don't worry, guys. We're gonna get much, much bigger.
Wow, okay.
Platypus. I didn't know platypus had really tiny eggs.
Damn.
Sea turtles, yes, okay.
American Islands,
Quail
quail.
eggs. Now, have you guys tried quail eggs? I definitely have, and they're very, very tasty. Chicken eggs, the average. That's the standard.
That's
for
the
eggs,
biggest
right?
one.
Crocodile eggs. They look like Tic Tacs, honestly.
Kiwi,
eggs.
damn.
How do they even come out of that? Of the kiwi
A
bird?
flamingo, I'm guessing.
Okay, dragon eggs. I didn't know they existed. Okay, I thought it was a mammoth, and mammoth could lay eggs, but obviously it don't. It was a mammoth bird.
Xenomorph, what the
Getting in territories where these animals don't exist, and
Genuinely surprised me. The oldest person alive today lived closer to George Washington than to someone born after the pandemic. She was born 110 years after George Washington passed away in 1799, and she's currently 116 years old. The 1900s were a pretty long time ago, though, to be born in, right? Am I 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 right? Japan's cybersecurity minister in 2018 made headlines when he admitted he had never used a computer, even though he was responsible for the country's cybersecurity. Bill Gates' daughter said that she was not allowed to use the last name Gates until high school because Melinda wanted them to be raised with middle-class values. A Dallas Christian high school fired its basketball coach after winning a game 100-0 because the school said it was such a blowout that it was not Christ-like and honorable. What can you do? No, they didn't score at all. My name is Adorian. That's what I learned today. Follow me to learn something new tomorrow.
I'm truly sorry if this ruins your... But I want you to think for a second about all of the craziest conspiracy theories that you can come up with about intelligence agencies and what they are capable of. Like, I'm talking like, they're watching me through the TV kind of conspiracy theories, because it is that. And it's worse. In 2017, there was a massive leak out of the CIA that the agency now calls the Vault 7 disclosures, and we found out that not only can they basically intercept any communication at any time, they can hack into your smart TV and listen to you even when it's off. They can also take over your car using its embedded computer and do whatever they want with it. Drive it off a bridge, drive it into a tree. They could make you disappear, and to the rest of the world it would look like a mysterious accident. There wasn't a lot of reporting in 2017 about the specifics of what was in the Vault 7 disclosures, and there's a good reason for that. But this is just what we know they can do using 2017 technology. That was 8 years ago. It was before TikTok, before AI, before the second Trump presidency, before they were openly, publicly discussing targeting political dissidents with the power of the state. So when people try to tell you, oh, the CIA can't do this, or Mossad can't do this, yes, they fucking can.
Bro, Tom Brady. Did you see what he did?
No. Cloned his dog?
Even, bro, watch. This is the worst one. I didn't even post about it yet. Tom Brady, one glove. This is on Sunday night, dude.
Why did you do it? That's O.J. Simpson. But this is O.J. Simpson stuff.
One glove. Who's playing? You know who's playing behind him?
No.
The Buffalo Bills. That's who O.J. Simpson played for his whole career. Except 1 year. Bro, the Bills are playing Sunday night. He's the announcer. He's so in the game, Tom Brady. It's ridiculous. He's for sure is not human.
Bro, but how can you be a 45-year-old and be the best quarterback in the league?
No, dude, you can't.
It's impossible. 45-year-old, bro. And he's not big.
Paul, I'll tell you what. Now that I see all this stuff, like when he throws the ball, they don't try to tackle him. They don't, they're rushing him. They don't try to tackle him. The guys are so open, and then when he catches the ball, they make believe they're trying to. But of course, I could do the same thing.
That's why Tom Brady was the GOAT, bro. He said people would willingly let him, bro, just throw that pass. I didn't see that thing with the glove, man. When the Bills played, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to rewind the game tape of Tom Brady. You know, he does the reporting on the games. But was that a coincidence? Or was that something else, man? That's crazy though, putting 2 and 2 together. I didn't even notice that until now. Wow, they're huge. They're like giants, bro. Tell me they don't look like giants. They said it was the Patov royal family. That's where they're at currently, I think. This nigga was at the sun.
So I be telling people, I said, that's Bill Clinton's son. He's a Crip from Little Rock, Arkansas. But that's my homeboy.
So everyone knew in Arkansas who Danny was. And
everybody know Danny. Everybody know that's Bill Clinton's son. I fuck with Danny though. He a good nigga.
Yeah, he seems nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he just wants like the truth to be told. He just wants the DNA test to be done. And I mean, he looked just like that.
Man, that nigga looked just like Bill. And Bill used to live in the middle of Little Rock, right there by goddamn East Safeway. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
I believe it. When I seen him, I said, God. When they introduced me, they said, that's Bill Clinton's son. That nigga turned around, I said, God damn. Sure is.
Year 2026, what a time to be alive. Matter of fact, ain't Black History Month coming up soon? It's around the corner. Yeah, that's right. We got to see Idol 22 get the pause put on him. We never thought we'd see this day. But shout out to Idol 22 for even getting in the ring. You can't say he's scary, he did it. But yeah, we needed to see this, y'all. This a W for us.
Damn.
W, boys, W. In front of the grave, y'all. Let's go. 2026, man. Can't believe in front of the grave. Shit is crazy.
Oh, he tapped out, bro. That's crazy, man. Adam 22 versus Freak Edition Love, bro. This whole situation with them going on, bro. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole, man. Y'all gonna have to find out for yourselves why the fight even happened in the first place, man. But let me just say, the fact that he lost, bro, and he just gave up. Well, he didn't give up. He got into the ring. He, I guess, stood his ground, but it wasn't enough, man. That's insane.
You know?
Holes, bro. That's the movie. That's where it's from.
Oh, no.
Your DNA, 6665. Do I have your attention yet?
You gotta see this.
In the world. If you are monitoring spirit, I rebuke you now in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Oh, amen.
Notice how it didn't leave until she said Jesus. And did you notice how the baby even calmed down at the name of Jesus? Hallelujah and amen. Follow or subscribe for more videos like this.
Hey, fool. Stop playing, bro. This is not Kai, right? This is not real, right?
Can't be.
Don't tell me that this is really fucking Kai, bro. This man really posed in all these pictures and took them. Fool, this gotta be AI, right? This AI.
Yeah.
But if it ain't AI, they got this man. I didn't want to believe it. But if this is real, what I was believing is real too. People don't know. A lot of times it always start with the fashion too. Once you start dabbling into little shit like this, there's nothing you won't do. It's crazy how he picked that name, The Vet. When now he one of their pets. They finna take his ass to the clinic. He about to put on a clinic. Ooh, this ain't it, guy. And is that motherfucking nail polish? Oh, hell no. They done made this man pure nail polish. A dress is coming soon.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that was AI, man. That, because I'm about to say, the reason why I say AI, because I'm pretty sure Kai's brand, Bavit brand, it's not even done yet. He's still in the like stages of making it, man. You saw his video, I quit. He was still in the stage of like he went to Italy to see all the leathers and stuff, learning basically how to do them himself. So you said Bavit like brand collection, that has to be capped, yeah, because it's not even done yet, bro. Kai, he's not even done yet. So I'm gonna have to call that. I'm gonna have to debunk that one.
If you're on TikTok and you didn't block Oracle the first time we told you to, head on over and block Oracle right now. Well, if you haven't heard, TikTok has officially been sold, and Oracle will be playing a very big part in it. And one thing is for sure, the algorithm that we all enjoy will be changing. And right now, we're uncertain if it's going to be changing for the better or for the worst. But one thing is for sure, it will be changing. And for those of you that have posted videos complaining about all the community guideline violations and video suppression, do you think it's actually going to get better, or do you think it's actually going to get worse under new management? And the other question that is lingering on everyone's mind, will they keep the same app, or will they update it? Will they change it? What is going to happen with TikTok as we know it? And one thing we can be sure of, there will definitely be some type of changes, whether it be right now or in the future. But as always, you can follow me on the gram, TheJoeD69. Follow me there. I'm on YouTube as well, the same thing. Keep in touch just in case. So once again, if they do end up keeping TikTok as it is, there will be some changes. And some of us may like it and some of us may not. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Hey, yo.
I think TikTok is still down, right? It's been down for like 2 days now, bro. Like when people try to post certain things, there's like it's getting censored, or I heard they're posting it and it's like stuck at like 0 views. So when they sold when they sold TikTok to Oracle, you guys know the whole algorithm changed. Everything's probably different. I heard there's whole new terms of agreements that you have to accept. I never seen that popped up on my TikTok yet, but I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, like I said, bro. Ever tried to use TikTok, man? That joint, bro. They're cooked. And I remember heard some people's monetization features got taken away. I think they said it came back, man. But they saying it's because of the storm. It took down some of the data centers. But I don't know, man. Tell me down below, man, if you guys think this TikTok, when they sold TikTok, is this changed for the good, or it's gonna be getting even worse, bro?
Well, check this shit out.
Do not look away from the symbol. You drew this in middle school. I drew this. We all did. But ask yourself one question. Who taught you how to draw it? It wasn't a teacher. It wasn't in a textbook. It wasn't on TV. And there was no internet to spread it. Yet somehow, this specific shape appeared in every single classroom on Earth at the exact same time. You probably called it the Superman S or the Stussy S, but look closer. Neither of those brands ever used this symbol. Those were false memories implanted to make you feel safe. This was actually the Universal S protocol, a global experiment in analog viral marketing designed to test how fast a single geometric instruction could infect the collective unconscious. Think about the sensation of drawing it, the 6 vertical pillars, the diagonal cross. It felt strangely satisfying, didn't it? That satisfaction was the trap. You weren't doodling, you were closing the circuit. It's 2 parallel sets of vertical bars that never actually touch, a broken infinity loop designed to trap your focus in the margins of your notebook. They weren't testing your artistic ability, they were calibrating your compliance to a grid. The experiment was a success. We all learned the code without ever being told. If you have this symbol in your old notebooks, you didn't create it. You were the entity.
Yeah, I guess you just put it in the water and then it starts to float.
No way.
So you telling me that after 21 years of going to school and learning about science and physics, that if I turn this water on, if I put an egg in it, it's just gonna float? Ain't no way this is gonna work. But we finna find out.
Okay. Here you go. You building out a science.
Now we got the egg. The water is still running. Now let's see if this thing gonna float.
Egg versus gravity. Who's gonna win?
What the hell? What? Yo.
No.
What? Oh my god.
They never taught me this.
What?
The science class.
Every single Saudi Arabian player is now being given a Rolls-Royce each as a reward for winning their historic match against Argentina. The gift is courtesy of Saudi Arabian Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who will be buying them a $1.3 million Rolls-Royce Phantom each. The question is, what would they be given if they won the World Cup?
Margot Robbie just said that she basically fell in love with Jacob Elordi while they were filming the new movie Wuthering Heights. And what's even more insane is that Margot Robbie quite literally has a husband. Margot Robbie's husband is literally a producer on this movie and was most likely on set during this. Margot Robbie said that Jacob Elordi picked her up with only one arm and it made her weak in the knees as she let out a dramatic sigh. This is where it gets even more worse. Margot Robbie also mentioned in the interview that she became codependent on Jacob Elordi, and she said that anytime they were together on set, she would try to find him because without him, she felt like a child without her blanket. And for Margot Robbie's husband, how is he doing this? Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi are doing photo shoots where they look like this. This would absolutely destroy me. I need to know for this scene, was her husband sitting somewhere watching this scene go happen? Must take a very secure man to be married to Margot Robbie. Honestly, if I was her husband, I could get past what she was doing in the movie. It's literally her job. But the comments that she's making in these interviews is even more concerning her. If you were her husband, would you watch this movie?
Would you, Seekers, man? I don't know. People be saying that's part of like a Hollywood freaking, ritual humiliation joint. But man, when I heard those comments, I was just shocked. Hey, her freaking husband's a producer on the movie. He knows what's going on, like I said. So, he's a very secure man.
I told you that this was going to happen, and damn it, has it happened. That radiation fog. Yeah, that radiation fog that was in California that was being produced by the Ring of Fire. It has kicked its way and swept the South. You understand? Not only has it swept the South, you got South Carolina, you got Mississippi, but it hit Alabama where your girl resides. Okay, and with this fog came a slew of symptoms. Not only is it causing headaches, it's causing nausea, it is a serious funk. A funk that comes with this fog. And people all in airlines have been complaining about it. But not only that, but the animals are even feeling the effects. Even the animals are feeling the effects. And it's no coincidence that where this radioactive fog has appeared, these crazy weather phenomena start happening. It's just coincidental, but we can go to the clips.
Look-see outside, we got Alabama and Georgia being your representatives from the southeast this morning. Dense fog advisory is up through mid-morning, so, the next couple hours is the most crucial.
Are you filming the road?
Yeah.
Why?
We don't have this at all.
If you know, Alabama doesn't get fog. It's not a thing here. And if you don't believe me, let's go to some other state.
Okay. Fog travels, bro. Are crazy.
Now remember how the Ring of Fire is active, right? Which is a bunch of super volcanoes, underwater, all type, just active, popping it off right now. But then you also got Yellowstone getting active, right? Hell, it's a clip.
Take a look at this. A huge, muddy eruption caught on camera at Yellowstone's Black Diamond Pool.
The Ring of Fire just woke up and everything around it is cracking open. In the last 2 days, volcanoes have started erupting again from Indonesia to Japan, and the seafloor near Chile has begun to shake like a heartbeat. Off Japan's Iwate coast, a 6.9 earthquake hit this week, the strongest in the region.
You're the Flaming Horse, 2026. Not even a full month in. And this is how you give it? Okay, cool. All right.
This looks like an old engineering poster from the 1980s. Strange blueprints, futuristic buildings, projects that were never meant to exist. But one structure here isn't a concept. It's real. AT&T Long Lines building. I opened Google Earth and flew over New York City, a city of glass towers, lights, reflections, symbols of transparency. And then, hidden among them, I noticed something wrong. A massive concrete block. No windows. No signs. No reflections. It doesn't look like it belongs here. It doesn't look like it belongs anywhere. This is 33 Thomas Street. Built during the Cold War, designed to survive disasters, completely sealed from the outside world. Some say it was more than just a communications hub. Street view makes it even more disturbing. Cold concrete walls, deep unnatural shadows, not a single normal window. It feels less like a building, and more like a fortress. And the scariest part? Millions of people walk past it every day, without ever asking why this building was designed to never look back at the city.
I don't know how people have the courage to live in the Appalachian Mountains, but I will never. Anytime I see a video about the Appalachian Mountains, whenever I go to sleep, this shit always pops up in my dreams. That's how I know that shit is evil. I just saw a video of a lady that lives in Appalachian Mountains. Her and her daughter were scared out of their minds. Now, mind you, her daughter is downstairs by herself. She keeps hearing a voice scream her name. Now, if you know anything about the Appalachian Mountains, you know when you hear a voice, if you hear a voice, you are not supposed to answer that voice. If you are inside and you hear that voice, you are not supposed to open your door to that voice. So the voice keeps on screaming. Then the voice changes into the girl's father's voice. Now you just hear what I just said, right? The voice she heard was her father's voice. She ran upstairs and told her mom. Her mom, panicking, calls the father on the phone.
A mimic.
She's on the phone with the father. While she's on the phone with the father, she hears the same exact voice. And then out of nowhere, she heard footsteps coming up her stairs. Running up her stairs. So the father, who's on the phone, is like, yo, listen, I'm on my way home. Stay in the room. Do not come out the room.
Smart.
This lady recorded this video where something was banging on the door. Banging. When I say banging, I mean banging. Boom, 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 boom on the door. I might have to start a series on this shit because this shit is the scariest shit I could have ever seen. These Appalachian Mountain stories are the scariest stories I could have ever heard. I don't understand why people live there. I don't understand how people live there.
Me either.
But I would never. I'm out.
Oh. So you're telling me that this whole time I've been sleeping on a mattress when I should have been sleeping on the floor? And if I continue to sleep on my bed, my back will shut down on me indefinitely? You motherfuckers. When was y'all gonna tell us, huh? For how long have y'all been keeping these secrets?
All my life.
So according to Vastu Sastra, this is what we supposed to be sleeping on. That explains all of the problems we have been having lately. This explains the tossing and turning. My body can't perfectly align itself on this mattress.
So to everybody that loves snow and they love ice and they love snowy days, making snowman, and they think winter is real, please explain this over here. Why is the snow only getting on the road but not on the grass? I want to know the science behind this. Yeah, I really want to know, because the other day I noticed this. Just last week, it was like 37 degrees in Florida. Today, it got up to 81. How is this possible? And then tomorrow is going to be 38 again. How is this possible? If winter is real and they're not forcing it, how is this possible? Winter is a spell, y'all. This is a spell. I'm telling you, it's because of that, the dragon. Let's go.
So, I want you to notice the bullshit. Why grass not covered like the ground?
It's not covered.
Because the earth is still too warm. Naturally. They force it this way. I get a little bit. It's not covering like the ground is covering. What making the ground so special? Because it's fucking real.
Normally, that's what get covered first.
It get dusted first. Look at it.
It's not even sticking to the tree.
It ain't sticking.
Yeah. Y'all know how it looks, especially up in the north. Y'all know exactly.
Why is that?
Yes. Okay.
Keep being fooled.
Mount Adams fire tower.
Everything over there is frozen. Snow. Interesting. It's ice. Frozen overnight. It's like got fake snow, bro. The big 2026. Oh, that snowstorm hit tech. Why would you do that? God damn, it looks like that damn movie. Remember where like everything was frozen? I forgot what the movie's called, man, but y'all know what I'm talking about. This guy's playing tricks on him. That looks like a tree that's moving, bro.
This woman on TikTok did a AI filter where it expands your photo. She uploaded a photo of her cat and dog on her couch. The AI expanded it, and it put a random woman on her couch. Now, she thought that was pretty weird, but she kind of chuckled at it until she started looking closer at the woman, when she realized that this looks a lot like her deceased mother. Here's a photo of her deceased mother for reference. AI kind of creeps me out because I have seen a lot of videos where people will take photos and AI will add something into it. And I've wondered if AI was able to pick up on ghosts and spirits and stuff like that. And with this particular occurrence, I think that it might. I mean, that looks a lot like her mom, y'all. The AI generated photo has the same face shape as her mom. It has wavy hair like her mom, even the same hair color. Now, I did see some theories that maybe the AI was able to go into her photos and it just so happened to add a photo of her deceased mother into its program, but I don't know, because I've seen other instances of stuff like this too. What do you guys think?
Ghost in the Machine.
Purple. You know this is not a naturally occurring eye color. Yes. You're good with that. I am. Let's do it. Just made the purple.
That ain't purple, my G.
You're gonna really like these. Okay. Ready to see it? I am. Purple violet eyes. This has been your dream eye color. Favorite color since about 13, 14, 15 years old. Don't see how it looks and not just context. Don't see the real deal now. Here we go. Oh wow. Oh wow, okay. Yes, amazing. How do you feel seeing your eyes like this now? Well, dream come true. It's definitely a game changer. How you like them, Dot? Oh, I think they turned out great. It was a custom mix, and I think it is the exact color that you wanted. Amazing. 1%. You're the 1% and 1% class. I love them.
He said purple. I said, bro, you gotta run me back my money talking about we use a blend. Did that look purple to you, Seekers, man? Seekers, would you guys genuinely like change your eye color, bro? I heard like too many horror stories about people like, you know, going blind or almost going blind after, you know, mess with their eyes, man. So I said no from me.
Oh, those are African death masks. I'm not getting rid of them. A week later, his house burnt down.
So what happened?
I had an investigation once. The guy was hearing a lot of people going up and down the stairs in his house, and his dog would just cower in the corner of his dining room. The dog was terrified to go into the rest of the house. It was a townhouse. And I went into his office, and I'm looking at the wall on his office, and I'm like, yeah, what is this? He's like, oh, those are African death masks. And I'm like, that's the cause of your problem right there.
People were dying in these masks. People were getting killed in these masks.
They are masks that back in the old days, they would put over the deceased face and bury
them. So these are things that have been dug up that have stuff attached to them. You gotta get rid of these. He's like, not gonna do it. A week later, we watched the news, and he texted me. He goes, oh my God, you were right. His house burned down, his townhouse. The masks completely gone, and he had started to box them up. But he wasn't gonna sell them, he was just gonna keep them.
Think the mask started the fire?
I do.
He started boxing them up?
I do, yeah.
What do you think? Bro, what's going up with these freaking sky trails, man? It's a whole ring, bro.
The fuck happened at Coachella this year? Here are the 4 strangest moments you couldn't miss. It's real. People who were there said the whole place felt demonic. And the worst part is that many people actually left the festival scared. First, there's this strange illness no one believed at first, but that ended up affecting everyone again. Almost everyone who went to Coachella got sick. But this time it's a real cough that lasts for a long time, as if something specific was in the air making people stay longer. And at the very beginning of the festival, someone filmed this terrifying video where you can clearly see what looks like a portal flying over the tents before anyone even arrived. No one had ever seen anything like that, especially at a festival like this. Among all the artists who performed, the well-known Sway Lee made a demonic face that terrified his fans. His face literally transformed. Some might say it was just the lighting, but something darker definitely happened there. We've also seen many videos of people running to get out of the festival. They wait a whole year to be there, but end up running away once they realize what kind of place they stepped into. This year was actually calmer than last year's edition. I already made a video about it, and everything that happened back then felt even more demonic. They were lucky it wasn't worse this time.
No way, bro. You are not fixing an airplane wing with some duct tape, my guy.
Oh, hell, so check it out. So this guy is saying that they're going like Mach 29, like close to 30,000 miles per hour. But something doesn't quite make sense about that. So if they were really doing that speed, it would take roughly 8 to 10 hours to get back. So just because they can go that fast doesn't mean they're always going to go that fast. But why not? Like, if their bodies can handle it and the little space pod thingy can handle it, why take 3 days, instead of 8 to 10 hours? And then it gets even crazier because look at this. That part leaves when they leave the atmosphere, and that's all that's left is this tiny little pod thing. And look, he makes a good point. Okay, where's the fuel for that, right? It's not down here because that's the heat shield. It's not up here because that's the parachute. And then inside, where's the food for 10 days? Where's the bathroom? Where's the beds? Like, how do they sleep? How does any of that work? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments.
Guys, do you guys think, man, the whole Artemis 2 launch, bro? Do you guys think that was legit, or do you guys think, man, that it was fake, man, that they're playing on our faces, bro? Until he actually broke it down, I didn't realize, like, how small, that pod is when they return to Earth was. But he was asking some valid questions, like, I guess where the fuel was. If it's so packed like that, where's the beds? Where are they going to eat at? Those were things I wasn't really thinking about until I saw that clip. I need you guys to tell me down below, man. What do you guys think?
In Area 51, underground, they have an entire floor devoted to cloning. A lot of the deep bases, they have an entire floor devoted to cloning. The cloning floor is the one that has the big auditorium and the seating and the arena. They started doing it around 1945. It was all politicians at first, and government world communications. Then they got bored in these disposable bodies because it loses the novelty really fast. So they started bringing in all these celebrities. All the mainstream artists and all the biggest political people and all the biggest royalties go to this place. They don't realize that it's a contract for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. If you ever have any children, they're included in the contract. They can kill you remotely from the cloning center. If they apply a constant state of pain to your clone, you'll die in real life. It's a terrible, diabolical, nefarious place.
Cloning, okay.
Hold on, y'all. Why is the ground shaking this much near Area 51? They're saying over a dozen earthquakes just hit near Area 51 in the past 24 hours. Over a dozen earthquakes hit near Area 51 in the past 24 hours.
That's not suspicious at all.
See the problem with that? Nobody but me find that a little strange. And yeah, you gonna have people saying, oh, this is completely normal. But this many earthquakes back to back? That's normal? This is the same area that got secret bases, underground bases, that run underground tests, and have stuff in there that they don't want us to know about. So now you got people online questioning what's going on, like, is this really earthquakes? Or is it something going on underground? Or is it some weird activities going on around that area in general? Because let's be real, every time something happens around Area 51, either in or just near it, they always say, oh, it's nothing. Nothing. So let me ask y'all, do y'all think this is natural? Or do y'all think something is going on around Area 51 that they don't want us to know? Because a dozen earthquakes in one day is a little crazy.
What's more crazy to me is, man, it wasn't not reported on freaking main news. I found out about this through the clips. That's always interesting sometimes, man, when I think about it. Sometimes I feel like I learn more through these clips than what they put on the actual news, bro. I still remember that event where, like, they said everybody was gonna, you know, go to towards Area 51, and they was gonna Naruto run. But they just did it outside the base, bro. Cause you guys know, man, I don't think in our lifetime we ever gonna know what's truly in Area 51. Maybe one day in the future, but not now. A meat truck at a funeral home.
Okay, we're at the Colton Funeral Home. What is this over there? A Glen Rose Meat Company at a mortuary.
Eerie.
What does that mean? What? What is that? Some
Sliced
really
dice,
quality meat products.
Marinated
portions.
Your needs.
So apparently someone saw this on a cruise ship and it's happening and it's just a reflection. It's right there.
What is that?
I don't remember, here's the thing. See, the thing about it is, Cap, I don't think reflections make ripples in the water. I don't think that's it. One thing about it, two things for sure, y'all are really making it hard for me to go take my birthday cruise because that looked like a colossal squid. Did y'all know that people literally thought the colossal squid was a myth for the longest time until, they found pictures of the size of a bus. A bus. Now we know it's there. I already told you in the other episodes that C. gigantism is real, but it only happens at pressures that we as humans cannot get to, so we don't know. I guess my thing is, how can you look out into that vast ocean and think we're the only ones? There's more ocean, right? If I'm correct, there's more ocean on the earth than there is land. So what, 2 and 2 is equaling 4 for me? I don't know how y'all are getting 5. Why do we think it's just, it's just kicks and giggles? Why, really, what was that? And you know what? While I'm at it, I need to look up the update on the Gerald the Dolphin thing because we haven't talked about that in a couple weeks. I'm gonna call y'all back.
Okay. Radio's picking up at the dishwasher? Maybe, I don't know why it's picking up that signal. How does something like that even happen?
New footage is now starting to surface of the scientist that was researching anti-gravity. She's in a complete panic in the video, saying that she was being hit by some kind of energy weapon and she has the burns on her body to prove it. Her name was Amy Eskridge, and she wasn't just working on free energy, she was actually trying to research how to manipulate gravity itself. She claimed that this has been discovered 4 different times, and every single time it was covered up before it could go public. In the video, she's working on a computer that isn't even connected to the internet. She says that somebody is scanning what she's typing through the window, and it's burning her hands while she's typing.
My hands still burn because there's damage, but it's like my body relaxed when we barricaded, and it was like relief, immediately.
Whenever she went went to block the window, she said that the burning stopped immediately and there was an outline of her body left on the glass. You can literally see her posture in the window as if it was an X-ray. A former CIA weapons expert on her team identified the exact device, and he said that it was powered by car batteries inside of a vehicle that was parked outside of her home. And actually, for 4 to 5 years straight, she reported multiple different times that an Eastern European man in a Lexus had been parked outside of her house watching. She predicted exactly what they would say. They said it. I'm going to be staying updated on this, so make sure you add me and come back for more.
This guy decides to drop a lawnmower inside of Target, I believe. Yeah, Target. And before he actually got into Target, y'all know he broke them doors, right? Yeah, he shattered them doors. Drove them over all throughout the store, sped up out of there, and left with them broken doors. Let's look at this. Because you can do some time for this. Play the video. That ain't funny. I don't see what was funny about that. That's not a prank. You just did damage to that store for no reason. All for what, your viral video? Well, guess what? Guess what? You got your viral video. And guess what else? You're going to have to pay for that. Because now everybody know who you are. I be telling people, man, everybody not built to be on social media. Because y'all end up doing crazy stuff that'll get y'all in trouble. Just go back to work. Clock back in. Clock back in.
Preach.
This ain't for you, bro. It ain't for you. Now let me know what y'all think. Like and follow for more.
Crazy, man. People be doing anything for fame, bro. Like, riding a lawnmower into like some doors, bro, just for a viral clip. The things people will do, man, to be famous. Like you said, some people, they just not built for this internet stuff, bro. Like, people need to learn that there's a limit to what you can do, bro. There's a line, and you shouldn't cross it. That's definitely crossing the line, man. Just for what? A viral clip, like you said, now you ruined your life forever, bro. It changed the shape.
You gotta talk about this speech Erica Kirk dropped because she just keeps on making it worse for herself. And I think it's pretty clear to anybody with 2 eyes and basic discernment. The way you can see this is every time Erica goes to an event, every time she posts, every time she speaks, she loses support. And I just really want to know, why would she choose to present herself like this? Because people pay attention to this kind of stuff. Because here's the thing, she could step away, take the money, and raise her kids. But choosing to stay in the public eye comes with scrutiny. You don't get to be a boss babe CEO one day, and then when valid criticism starts and people start asking questions, then suddenly you become a grieving widow. Are we just going to forget that Erica decided to capture this moment of her husband for millions to see? An incredibly private moment. Then turns around and attacks journalists for capturing viral moments at a public event. Like at the White House Correspondents' Dinner when she said she just wanted to go home. People are going to point out the hypocrisy. But even beyond that, the way she speaks her body language, it seems like she has a lot of resentment and anger. But in the beginning, she forgave the man that took her husband's life. That shift is what people are noticing. The staring, the emotion that doesn't fully connect, and people are starting to see through it.
What is that? It looks like stay with me, Seekers. It looks like that that black stuff looked like he was covered off that stuff, you know, from that Doom movie. I guess what's it called? The Spice joint. He got out of the freaking tub or something, man. It looked exactly like that, bro.
Astronauts were the first humans to ever touch the moon. And who set up the camera that filmed them stepping off the ladder? Think about that for a second. Because right now, somewhere in your brain, something just shifted. And here's what makes it even wilder. The footage wasn't shaky. It wasn't blurry. It was clean, composed, almost like someone knew exactly where to point the lens before anyone even arrived. And if that doesn't get you, try this one. The moon is 238,000 miles away from Earth. No human had ever been there. No test run. No dry rehearsal on actual lunar soil. Yet the transmission beamed back to every television set on the planet came through clearer than most live news broadcasts today. In 1969, with technology that had less processing power than the calculator sitting in your backpack. How? Here's where it starts to unravel. NASA said 3 astronauts made the trip. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went down to the surface. Michael Collins stayed orbiting above in the command module.
Who Epstein is?
Oh.
Yes.
How do you know about him?
So he's your dad. You showed me a picture.
Yo, what's your mom?
Those the Island Boys, right? Yeah. Okay. A new Island Boy, what the hell? Are they brothers? What the was that?
I just saw a hacker on Instagram get into the city's flock cameras, and he noticed something weird. That the majority of the flock cameras exhibit the exact same behavior. And the behavior is that it reports in 50 times to a specific SSID, but that SSID is hidden. So he uncovers that it's hidden and realizes, oh shit, these things are using Wi-Fi. So is this on a hotspot, or is this actually tethered to the city's infrastructure somehow? And this is important because if they're using hotspots, that's like centralized and less than the flock cameras themselves, right? I hope you get where I'm going with it.
Oh.
This is why you need physical media. Anywho, I'm my PS5 Pro, and my PS5 Pro comes with no disc tray. So meaning all my games I play are legit going to be digital. All these games are digital, and right now we're having some Wi-Fi issues. Right now, using an iPad, they have Wi-Fi something right now. Since I don't have any Wi-Fi at the moment, I can't play no game at all because it can't verify my. This is why, literally, you also be online. This is why physical media, bro. This is why you need physical media. You never know what can happen. Yeah, it's life, y'all. Something goes in. But I ain't gonna lie, game. This is why I got my Switch, bro. One of the main reasons why. There's a little outage going on. I guess I'm chill on. I guess my chill on the phone, probably Pokemon until the outage passed by. But you need to make sure you keep physical media at all costs.
Here's some
Fun fact, bro. I still don't got the PS5 of the big 2026. I know y'all gonna cook me down below, but bro. But I said when I was gonna get the PS5, I said I was gonna get the one with the disc, bro. I'm a physical media freaking person, bro. I don't like you said how if it's just digital, like you said, you have to always have to have a connection, man. And you know it's licenses, and sometimes you can maybe lose that, bro. But digital disc, you can't take that away from you, man. So, bro, Seekers, buy physical media, man. You want to own your stuff, bro.
Thing nobody talks about. Her original patent actually shows the toilet paper rolling over the top. So for everyone who's been pulling it from the back, you're doing it wrong. The inventor already settled it. Case closed. I just learned that a black woman invented the toilet paper holder. Her name was Mary B. Davidson Kenner. She wanted a cleaner, easier way to store and dispense toilet paper. So she built one. So the next time you reach for toilet paper, think about the foundational black American woman who literally invented the right way to do it. Share this with someone who needs to fix their toilet paper right now.
Never knew that. A black woman made the toilet paper holder. Thank you for your contribution to society. Whoa, man, you learn something new every single day, man. That's actually mind-blowing, bro. Thank you, man. Because you know we needed that, bro.
This industry, what you must understand is, when you do sell your soul, you are allowed to live forever. And these people that are called youngins, had no idea that these people still live. They will prey, haunt, kidnap, anything to stay on top. This is their world. They have nothing but time, is what they believe. The art of exchanging spirits, trading spirits.
And then when they do die, they can move their consciousness from their decaying body, from their dead, body to a new clone of themselves. They can basically, they can harness and control and transport the informational bundle that is a soul from one piece of hardware to another, or wetware to another. They know how to do this, and this is why, like, in all the human myths about Apollo and Aphrodite and whatever, Zeus himself, these gods seem like they live forever. They always look the same, and whereas humans are, being born and dying generation after generation, these Nordics these gods always look the same, because first of all, their lifespans are thousands of our years per body, and then also they can move their consciousness into clones of themselves. So yeah, it's exactly as you describe it. It was done a very long time ago. And these are the people who manage us.
That's crazy, man. Soul
This
transfers?
weekend in Beijing, a humanoid robot just ran a faster half marathon than any human in history. And it wasn't a simulation or a test track. They actually had 12,000 human runners running against 1,200 humanoid robots for over 21 kilometers, or 13 miles. And 3 robots actually crossed the finish line before any human did. The winner's called Lightning. It's built by Honor, which is a Chinese smartphone maker, I think a spin-out out of Huawei. And it ran the course in 50 minutes and 26 seconds. Now, the current human world record is 57 minutes and 20 seconds, held by a Ugandan runner, Jacob Kiplimo. Think about that. A smartphone maker just beat the fastest human alive. Now, this is the second humanoid half marathon that they've held. I mean, last year it was looking a little sad. These robots looked like they needed a stretcher. And then this year they beat the human world record in 1 year. Now, Lightning did hit a barricade near the end and needed some assistance to get over the finish line. But hey, I can't blame him after running that fast. But here's what this race was really about. Because it wasn't just a race to see how fast these humanoids can run. It was really a data collection exercise at scale. Because every robot that ran collected movement data, terrain adaptability, balance recovery, energy management, and of course endurance. And about 40% of the robots were actually operated autonomously. And so every step these robots take are going to be fed right back into the models for the next generation that comes out. So China didn't just build a race. They built a gym for 300 robots and 12,000 unwitting training partners. Beijing's latest 5-year plan specifically calls out humanoid robots. I mean, think about it. 3 companies, AGBot, Unitree, and UB Tech. They're some of the only top-tier vendors that are shipping humanoid robots at scale right now. The robotics data flywheel is going to be the same as the AI data flywheel. Remember, this is exactly how autonomous driving started. The DARPA challenge that happened in 2004, at first it was a desert race with no winners. And then a year later, about 5 vehicles finished. And then a decade later, we're seeing self-driving cars on the public roads. So the race wasn't the point, the data was. And now it makes me think, I don't think there's a US version of this type of humanoid race. That's a startup idea sitting in plain sight if I've ever seen one. Because if you can get access to that data set that you're generating, that's a moat. And again, if you like this sort of thing and want to stay close, join our community Frontier. Link in bio.
That's crazy, man. We got humanoid robot races, bro. But like I said, it's a deeper meaning, man, than just, I guess, setting up a race. They need that data, bro. Right now, like I said, they're just taking baby steps. Before the first race, they was moving slow. Second race, they beat the freaking human world record. What's gonna happen to the third race, bro? Running full sprints, man. The next Olympics, bro, about to be held by robots. It wouldn't surprise me, man. Like I said, if we see a robot in the next Olympics, bro. I'm calling it now, bro. You heard it here first. Global Reacts, man.
Pescaria no Rio Dourado, galera. Olha o tamanho daquilo dali, galera. Olha o tamanho dessa cobra, galera.
It's a big anaconda.
Olha o tamanho dessa cobra. Meu Deus do céu, olha o tamanho da cabeça daquela cobra ali, galera. Olha isso, galera. Que cobra linda.
Whoa.
Olha lá, galera, top.
See y'all, they know that we are waking up now. Have y'all seen this interview yet? First of all, this lady hesitates to ask Donald Trump these questions. Why? Because she knows that it's all a lie. So this lady asked Donald Trump, what does he think about everyone saying that the, Pew Pew was fake, that it was all staged? Trump basically said that he don't care, and he let us know that nothing was real in the first place. World War II? Bro, this is crazy. I've been telling y'all, it's all been psychological.
I hesitate to ask you about this, but as you know, these conspiracy theories out there on the left and the right, that the event was staged or that it didn't happen.
What did last night didn't happen?
That it was because it was your first time there, or that Butler didn't happen. These conspiracy theories that are gaining traction on the internet.
Didn't happen, and many things didn't happen. Yeah, no, I hear it. I don't know. I think they're more sick than they are
con people, but there's a lot of con in it too. Well, I haven't heard that last night didn't happen. What usually takes a little bit longer.
He said usually it takes a little bit longer. Why? Because we were under the spell. We were asleep. We were drinking the Kool-Aid that was making us. And now we're breaking away from their system, from their spells, and now they're literally telling us. Remember, y'all, all I'm going to say is the pen is mightier than the sword. And who gave us our history? That's why they say it was all a dream, y'all. It's a giant dream. We are literally in a simulation, y'all. I hope you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me know down in the comments if you resonate with this, y'all. The shit is here. Let's continue to get it, man. Peace out.
I was like central casting. Central, hey, you know what? At least central casting. Look at that guy, central casting. This is central casting. I'm doing a movie. I thank you, General. Central casting. Very impressive. You're central casting. This man's central casting. I watch him all the time. Central casting.
These are some of the rarest human mutations. 80% of the population has lines on their hands that spell out the letter M. Many people believe that this is a sign of good luck. However, 4% of people have an X on their palm. And about 25% of people in the world have something called photic sneeze reflex. This means they can sneeze on command just by looking up at the sun. And 3% of the population has no body odor. Now that's lucky. But about 1% has something called fish odor syndrome.
I would probably quit my job if I was a 911 dispatcher and I received a phone call from an empty funeral home at 3 in the morning. If you guys are easily scared of this kind of stuff, maybe skip through this part or don't watch this at night.
This is Erica. How can I help you?
This happened in Colorado a few years ago, and it's probably one of the creepiest things I've ever watched because not only did this 911 call go through the first time, but it gets disconnected, so the dispatcher calls back and the call gets answered at the funeral home. I mean, all you can really hear is loud static, but a lot of people have said that they can hear a soft male voice saying send help or help me. I listened to this audio multiple times, okay, and you can actually kind of hear it. But besides these noises, no one actually responds or has a real conversation with the dispatcher. And apparently that's because no one was actually inside the funeral home at that time. The cops arrived to the funeral home shortly after this call was made, and it turns out that it was closed. No one was in there, and they even followed up with the people that worked at this funeral home, and they told them that no one had been in there all night.
So who called?
Here's some crazy history that they didn't teach you in school. Nepal's second to last king spent his entire reign in a coma. The first ever recorded punishment for illegal parking was death, followed by impalement outside of one's home. All of Jimmy Carter's siblings and his father passed away of pancreatic cancer specifically. Lewis and Clark's crew left behind mercury-laced poop so toxic that it was able to help the archaeologists find their campsites. Leonardo da Vinci never gave the Mona Lisa to the person who commissioned it. He kept it with him until he died. There are multiple Mona Lisas that were created by Leonardo da Vinci. Of the 44 original colonists that founded Los Angeles, only 2 of them were white. These are pictures of statues of Vasuki, an African slave who arrived in Japan in 1579 and became the first black samurai. Air Canada used to have dance floors on their planes. This is a picture of tobacco company CEOs declaring under oath that nicotine is not addictive.
We knew that was cap. They was capping with... That was just a cap off, man. They was doing that for the money.
Creepy things you never knew. Bears in Russia sometimes become so hungry in the summer that they become desperate for food and go to cemeteries to feast on the recently buried corpses. In 1977, we received a radio signal from space. It lasted around 42 seconds. To this day, we don't know where that signal came from. If you're ever unsure with meeting up with someone and you want to stay safe, use publicdatacheck.com. It allows you to do background checks on anyone. and even has an unknown phone number lookup for those phone numbers that call you that aren't in your contacts. This has saved a lot of people from weird and strange situations. So check out publicdatacheck.com. If your immune system found out you had eyes, it would attack them until you go blind. In 2002, actor Anthony Starr received a 12-month prison sentence because he had a bar fight in Spain. Witnesses say he drunkenly punched and smashed a bottle on a chef's head, saying to him, "You committed the mistake of your life. I'm going to look for you. I want to you." He managed to avoid jail time by paying the victim $4,000. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, let me tell you a secret. Typing "scream" all lowercase with the bars around it like this will give you a secret emoji down below. Let's see who can actually do it.
We need to talk about how disrespectful this bird is. This is a secretary bird, and they kill prey by kicking them in the head until they either tap out or flatline. They especially violate snakes. They'll river dance on a snake's head until its skull caves in, and the secretary bird can kick with a force 5 times its own body weight. That's like the average man Ronaldoing someone with 900 pounds of force. Their kick is so powerful that they can actually shatter the bones in your hand. Also, they're like 4 feet tall. The secretary bird will stomp around vegetation and bushes just so they can skull snatch anything that tries to escape. They'll also purposely wait around bushfires so that if any small animal tries to run for its life, this bird will take it from it anyway by curb stomping them. And they can weak split their ops in 15 milliseconds, meaning in the time it takes for you to blink, they can strike multiple times. And like I said, they're 100% on site with snakes because they'll smash their heads in until they're either paralyzed or dead and then proceed to eat them. Also, this raptor can fly. Because of course they can. And they do all this while looking like a recently divorced velociraptor that got out of pocket with the child support. This is not a bird, it's Jurassic Park in yoga pants. With a thigh gap, y'all could never. Next time someone tells you dinosaurs went extinct, just remember this African homicide chicken tap dances on the graves of snakes, and anyone else that tries to test it.
Okay. It ain't a lesson today. Don't mess with that bird, man. That bird has Black Air Force energy, bro. Noted.
These are some extremely
Where we at night?
This is why you should never sleep next to your phone. In 2019, a girl fell asleep listening to her favorite music on her phone. As most people do, she had her phone plugged into the outlet next to her bed. The next morning, the parents walked in and discovered that the phone that was next to her head had exploded. Before I tell you what happened to her, I found a way to finish your math homework in seconds. Just scan the math problem and it'll give you a solution along with an explanation. Press the button on my profile to try it. She was immediately rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately passed away due to her injuries.
Do not sleep with your phone next to you, in case stuff like
One
that
in
happens.
a Million, Part 7. On the right is the facial reconstruction of a 9,000-year-old skeleton that was found in a cave in Cheddar, England. His DNA was tested, and researchers found that a living relative was teaching history class only a half-mile away from the site, linking back 300 generations. Out of the 40,000 windows within the Twin Towers, only one of them survived 9/11. It's believed to have come from the 82nd floor of the South Tower, one of the 9 floors that was struck by the second plane. The first person to die during the construction of the Hoover Dam was surveyor J.G. Tierney on December 20th, 1922. On the same exact day, 14 years later, the last person died. It was J.G.'s son, Patrick Tierney. Uncombable hair syndrome is an extremely rare condition that literally makes the hair impossible to comb. It currently affects less than 100 people across the globe. A married couple from China discovered that they were in the same photograph as teenagers more than a decade before they even met. On July 4th, 1826, President John Adams' last words before dying were, "Thomas Jefferson survives." But little did he know, President Jefferson had died just hours earlier that same exact day. Not to mention it was exactly 50 years after the Declaration of Independence was passed.
Man.
Horses are much bigger than people, so naturally they just have a lot more blood than we do. So whenever horses get nosebleeds, it ends up looking like a whole crime scene. So one of the only reasons we know how many people died in the Titanic are the shoes that are laying on the ocean floor. Some are pretty cool, others are kind of depressing. And the reason we count the shoes instead of, bones is because when the Titanic hit the floor, all the corpses kind of just scattered and the fish ate the corpses, but the fish couldn't eat the shoes. If you ever decide to go climb Mount Everest, I hope that you remember that the crevices in the ice are V-shaped, which means if you were to ever accidentally fall down one, you more than likely wouldn't die instantly. Your body heat would melt the ice around you, causing you to slip further and further down until your chest couldn't expand enough to breathe. So make sure you bring a friend just as crazy as you to help get you out.
I ain't going to Mount Everest.
This is
the world's smallest dog. Her name is Pearl, and she's a 2-year-old Chihuahua that lives in Central Florida. Pearl stands at 3.59 inches tall and weighs 1.2 pounds. She's shorter than a popsicle stick and around the same length as a $1 bill, and she can fit in the palm of your hand. Pearl was recently awarded the Guinness World Record for being the smallest and shortest dog in the world. She's a descendant of the previous world record holder, Miracle Millie, who is 3.8 inches tall, which is just 0.2 inches taller than Pearl. Pearl's owner describes her as a calm dog who likes to go for walks and play with her toys. She also said that Pearl loves the attraction she gets for being so tiny.
If you have one of these in your home, then you need to know this new chilling theory. TikTokers have claimed these new viral furry Labubus carry demonic energy, rumoured to be inspired by the demon Pazuzu. But Hotmart insists they're based on a children's book. Labubu owners have now taken to blessing their dolls with holy water to banish any evil the new toys may hold.
Those Labubu dolls, man, I've been seeing them popping up. Like, they just seem like they just got popped out of nowhere, so...
This is the disturbing moment this woman laughed in court after she took this 3-year-old's life in a random attack. On June 3rd, police received numerous phone calls about a stabbing at a grocery store parking lot in Ohio. At around 3 p.m. on this day, 38-year-old Margot Wood was loading groceries into her car while her 3-year-old son Julian sat in his car seat. That's when 32-year-old Bianca Ellis entered the car and began stabbing the little boy. When Margot noticed, she tried to stop the attack, and as a result she was also wounded. Julian was then rushed to the hospital where he unfortunately passed away. Now, what's disturbing was that this was a random attack, and after looking at surveillance footage, the attacker was seen following the mother and the child in and out of the grocery store. Then, when Bianca was brought into court, the judge began reading out the indictment, and she was seen smiling and laughing the entire time. And after an assessment was done on Bianca, they're arguing that she has bipolar disorder and had a psychotic break, which explains why she did what she did. And this story only gets crazier. Before this incident, Bianca confessed to another murder in Bakersfield, and she even gave details of what she did with this person's body. She also warned officers that if she wasn't arrested, she was going to murder someone and eat their flesh. But none of this was taken too serious, and she was released from the mental institution, and not long after, she committed this heinous crime.
The most disturbing phone number in the world. Part 2. In 2005, in a quiet luxury neighborhood in California lived a family of 6. The road they lived on is called Devil's Ladder, and things are about to take a demonic turn. The father is laying down one night at 3:30 in the morning while everybody in the house is sleeping. He gets up, picks up his 9mm pistol, and slowly starts creeping down the hallways. One by one, he shoots each of his children in the head while they're sleeping. He then made his way down to his last 2 victims. The last 2 victims of this heinous crime were his own mother and his wife. After everyone else in the house was dead, he made his way downstairs, picked up the cell phone, and made one last phone call. I was able to find the original phone number using Spy Dialer, and as you can see on your screen now, it says he's deceased and the number's disconnected. However, when you call this number today, this is what plays.
Okay, does anyone else hear footsteps? If so, whose footsteps are these?
Make sure to like and follow for more videos tomorrow.
She was in the car when a brick came flying towards her.
A brick? Oh,
in 2012, 29-year-old Olga Dajkovic was riding in the passenger seat with her family. They were driving down a road in Russia just like any other day. Their car had a dash cam, not knowing what it was about to capture. In the video, a semi-truck passes by the family's car when a brick is seen flying in the air going towards Olga. The brick smashes the window and hits Olga in the head. Everyone in the car is screaming while Olga has been knocked out by that brick. Olga was rushed to the hospital but later died from her injuries. This is your reminder to be safe on the road and always be observant.
I'm stabbed.
Who would throw a brick on a like highway? People do not use their brains, man, anymore. Truly. They know what the result of that could be, right? So what's the point of doing that?
These were George Spencer Millett's last words. It was his birthday, and 15 unlit candles remained on his cake. 6 young ladies merrily chased him around the office for a birthday kiss. George tripped and fell. The laughter turned to screams as a pool of blood crept from underneath his chest. The sharp tip of a little erasing knife in his pocket had pierced his young heart. A short and bizarre description on a gravestone lays testament to his unusual demise. Kissed to death.
Just because you've known from a birthday kiss? I was
Disturbing facts that school never taught you. Part 2. The proper way to actually flush a toilet might shock you. After you use the restroom, you're supposed to get up, close the lid, and then flush. If you leave your toilet seat open while you flush, bacteria jumps up to 30 centimeters and lands all over your bathroom floor. A study was done that 1 out of 30 people actually close the lid before flushing. Languages are disappearing at a staggering rate. It's estimated that one language dies every 2 weeks. Could you imagine your language just completely vanishing? More than 2,500 left-handed people die every single year from using right-handed products. So if you're left-handed, just be a little bit more careful. The average mattress doubles in weight every 10 years due to the amount of poop in it. If you're receiving random phone calls from any sort of number in the world, you can use a website called spydialer.com. Spydialer allows you to type in any name, address, email, or phone number and find out who they really are. I honestly feel like schools needed to teach these because you never really know who's on the other end of that line until now. Make sure to like and follow for more videos tomorrow.
Wealthiest person from each country. Japan.
Let's break this down.
Tadashi Yanai. $35 billion. Germany. Dieter Schwartz. $50 billion. Canada. David Thompson. $55 billion. Damn. China. Zhang Shanshan. $60 billion. Mexico.
El Chapo.
Carlos Slim Helú. $90 billion. France. Bernard Arnault. $190 billion. United States.
That's Elon Musk. Yeah.
Elon Musk. $210 billion.
All that money. What would you do, Seekers, if you had that amount of wealth? I can even imagine.
This is the horrifying truth of the Russian sleep experiment. The purpose was to get rid of the need for humans to sleep through the use of an experimental gas. 5 participants were locked in a chamber that was pumped with this no-sleep gas for 15 days. These men were all political prisoners and were fine after the first 5 days. But it was on the 9th day when one of the subjects started screaming so loud and ripped the vocal cords out of his throat. Another man started screaming as well, so the researchers went into the room and said they would free one person. But the prisoners looked back and said, "We don't want to be freed." The prisoners were going insane and literally started ripping off their skin. They were taken to a hospital where they enjoyed being cut into. They brought the last living 2 test subjects back to the chamber and said, "Who are you?" The subject answered, "We're the madness that lurks within you and the reason you hide in your bed every night."
Okay, we need our sleep.
How did this pigeon save the lives of 194 people? Normal photos, disturbing backstory. It's World War I, and a unit of 550 men are trapped behind enemy lines without food or ammunition, but their situation was about to get even worse. In the confusion, their own army began firing at the trapped men. Now they were under friendly fire and enemy fire. They sent out a desperate plea for help by a homing pigeon. The bird made it a couple of feet into the air before it was torn apart by gunfire. All hope seemed to be lost. But seconds later, a fluttering sound. The injured pigeon took flight again. Although it had a bullet wound, it was blinded in one eye and one leg was hanging on by a single tendon. The pigeon struggled back to base with a vital message, and the men were saved. That pigeon, named Cher Ami, meaning dear friend, survived the war and was awarded 2 medals for bravery.
It deserves it, truly. Damn, that was hard, bro. His leg was that injured and he still completed his mission?
This truck driver took the life of 5 people because he was distracted on TikTok. The morning of January 12, 2023, 36-year-old Danny Tyner was driving on Interstate 10 in Arizona when he drove his tractor trailer in to stop the traffic. This scene is so difficult to look at, but basically his truck sandwiched 2 other cars with another big truck at the front. These are the 5 victims that lost their lives on that day, and when Danny was asked what happened, he said that he looked down for a couple of seconds because he got a notification on his work tablet, and when he looked back up, there was not enough time to brake. But that wasn't true. When his phone was analyzed, it showed that he was actively using TikTok when the crash happened. Now, what I found disturbing was that during his interaction with police, he didn't seem too fazed. He was eventually charged with manslaughter and was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison for each count of negligent homicide, which totaled to 22.5 years.
Here are some toy designers who failed miserably. This car says Austria, but has deserts and kangaroos on it. I think they meant Australia. And what is going on with these action figures? And this teddy bear looks normal until you see it without the sweater. I am a sweet baby, let's have fun together. It doesn't look like a sweet baby. What looks to be like a normal horse toy is actually a Barbie's head as the tail. Okay, but what is this Winnie the Pooh toy? It literally looks like it's wearing a grandma's dentures. And why is there an eyeball coming out of this teddy bear? Is this supposed to be Yoda? Come on, you had one job and you put the eye on backwards. What kind of dinosaur is this? And I don't even have words for this.
These facts will mess with your perception of time. Cleopatra was alive closer to the invention of Snapchat than to the creation of the pyramids. The jewelry brand Tiffany & Co. was created before Italy became a country. Martin Luther King and Anne Frank would be the same age if they were both alive today. When Star Wars came out, guillotines were still legal in France. Nintendo was founded the same year Van Gogh painted The Starry Night. And if you fit the entire history of Earth into 1 year, humans would only appear on December 31st at 11:35 p.m. Send this to someone to make them question everything.
This man served 17 years in prison after being mistaken for someone that looked just like him. In 1999, Richard Jones was falsely accused and imprisoned for a robbery that happened at a Walmart in Kansas. A robber tried to snatch a purse from a woman in a parking lot, but this man was not Richard. It was a man who looked just like him and had a similar name as Richard. The person that they should have been looking for was this man named Ricky Amos. But unfortunately, an eyewitness at the Walmart identified Richard as a culprit and testified against him in court. Even though Richard had an alibi at the time of the crime, it wasn't enough evidence and he was put behind bars for a 19-year sentence. Richard tried to appeal, but nothing ever came out of it. Now, 16 years later, in 2015, other inmates began telling Richard that there was another inmate who looked just like him. Richard had a gut feeling, so he contacted his attorney, and when they put Richard and Ricky side by side, it was clear that they were identical and they might have made a mistake. 17 years later, Richard was finally released from prison when the witnesses said that they can barely tell the difference between the two men. After his release, Richard received a $1 million settlement by the state.
Nah, 1 mil ain't enough, man. How many years he did in the pen? That's exactly how much money they need to wire to his account, bro. He made a colossal mistake, man. He did like, I think 17 years, they said? Yep, 17 million, bro. He's settling for nothing less. That is so messed up, man. Imagine not doing something, bro, and you still get sent to prison. He had an alibi and everything, man. The evidence was literally right there, and they still put him behind bars. Crazy.
Facts that could save your life, part 4. If you ever disturb a wasp's nest, don't run for the water. The wasps are so smart they'll wait for you to resurface and then continue to sting you. If you're ever buried in an avalanche, you must spit. Your saliva will follow the gravity and you can dig the opposite way, making it easier to get out. Do you ever struggle in school, especially in math? All you have to do is take a picture of your math problem, and GothMath shows you exactly step by step on how it got the answer and the answer itself, just in case your teacher is extremely annoying with asking you to show your work. The link is in my bio and it's completely free.
Here are facts that are guaranteed to make you go, what the fuck? And that if you tell literally anyone, you will look like a fucking genius. You're welcome. First up, do you hate carrots? Good, cause same, and there's a very good reason. Yes, the carrots are very healthy for you, however, eating too many of these bad boys will make your skin turn orange. I'm legit not lying. You will become an Oompa Loompa, you have been warned. Resulting in a condition called carrot enoderma. Next up, Venus's snow is actually metal. Mommy, it's snowing outside. Have a look at a bright sky and see like white dots or shapes? Well, you are actually looking at your blood. What? These are actually your white blood cells. So everyone knows the Big Daddy Easter Island heads. Did you know they have bodies? The cracking sound made when you click your joints is gas being released between them. Hunting unicorns in Michigan is legal. Let's make a deal. If you didn't know any of these, you have to share it.
Elizabeth Smart, part 26. Since being found and saved from her captors, Elizabeth has done so much good with her life. She's not only gone on to become a children's safety advocate, as well as a commentator on ABC News, but she also went on to have her own family. As well as she was most recently featured on The Masked Dancer. I would have said spoilers, except that ABC spoiled that for themselves. And the comments on her post were so rude, you guys. Like, oh, I guess we're famous now for getting kidnapped. Screw off. This woman has done so much more in her life than just be a victim. Just because you're unaware of it doesn't mean the rest of the world isn't, and I'm quite frankly so happy that Elizabeth seems happy. However, after she was found, not everything was sunshine and rainbows. It took 8 years for this case to go to court. Mitchell was charged with kidnapping and blank, and he's serving 2 life sentences currently. However, Wanda worked out for herself a plea bargain. She was charged with only assisting in kidnapping, and believe me, she did so much worse to Elizabeth. You can read about it in her book, and she's been free since August 2020. So yeah.
Here's some tips that could save your life that you're actually likely to use. If you're ever outside and your hair's standing straight up, you're about to be struck by lightning. So what you have to do is crouch into this position and brace yourself. If your house ever randomly smells like fish, 9 out of 10 times it's an electrical fire. If you're ever in a foreign country and you don't know the emergency number, dial 112. It's the universal number for emergency. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, it's actually moving towards you. If there's ever a gas leak in your house, don't turn on the lights. A spark from the light switch can blow up your entire house. If you're ever in a crashing elevator, lie down flat to evenly distribute your weight. If you happen to fall into a subway track, look for the little crawl space and hide in there. If there's a deer on a road, you have a better chance of surviving if you drive into it. But if it's a moose, drive into a ditch. Even if you have no service, you can still call 911. Share this video with a loved one to keep them safe.
Hey man, that 1112, is that accurate? I remember seeing a comment a couple of weeks ago saying, you know, I think if you're in the United Kingdom, 1112 isn't the actual number, it's something else. So I wonder if it varies, you know, for different countries, the emergency number. So some interesting facts.
Psychology hacks you need to know. If someone is trying to make you decide something in a hurry, they're most likely giving you a bad deal, and you should just walk away. If a person is trying to intimidate you, stare at their forehead with a blank expression. This will psychologically make them self-conscious. Chewing gum when you're nervous really does help, because your brain thinks, I'm eating, so I must not be in danger. If you want to know if someone is interested in what you're saying, cross your arms. If they cross their arms too, this is called mirroring, and it actually means they're interested in the conversation. If you need to remember to do something tomorrow, just put something in your room out of place. The next day, you'll see this item out of place and you'll remember why you put it there. Finally, if 2 people are arguing, stand in between them and eat something. It'll help alleviate the tension.
Really?
Creepy last words people said right before dying. A nurse named Kathy said that she was working a night shift caring for a man who was dying of heart failure. It was quiet, almost peaceful, until suddenly he sat upright in bed, eyes wide, locked on the far corner of the room. He's back, he whispered. Who's back? Kathy asked. The man in the top hat, he said. He comes every night now. Tall, dark, shadowy. He just stands there watching me. Kathy glanced over, but the corner was empty. Just shadows dancing in the low light. She tried to reassure him, but he kept going. He carries a silver stopwatch, he said, voice shaking. Last night he opened it and said, it's almost time. I can't wait. She felt uneasy, but tried to stay professional until he looked at her, eyes full of terror. He knows everything I've done, he said. Things I never told anyone. Every sin, every secret. He whispered them all to me, like he'd been there, watching me my whole life. Then he said, he's here to take me. Moments later, he flatlined, his eyes still locked on that dark corner. Kathy said that she'd never felt anything like it. The heavy air, the way the room didn't feel empty, even after the patient was gone. And just before she left, she heard a faint ticking, then a soft click, as if someone had closed a stopwatch. Kathy said that she went to confession the next day for the first time in over 10 years.
This nurse murdered 7 newborn babies in her care. Between 2015 and 2016, nurse Lucy Letby murdered 7 newborn babies by injecting milk, insulin, or air into their bloodstream at the Countess Chester Hospital in England. The hospital called police when there was a rising mortality rate in the neonatal unit, and doctors began to notice similarities in the deaths of these infants and asked to do a review of each case. After investigating, it was evident that someone was purposely hurting these newborn babies, causing them to either lose their lives or putting them in critical condition. It seemed like every time Lucy was caring for a newborn baby in her unit, they somehow became sick or passed away. In one instance, Lucy injected air into the bloodstream of a twin baby boy and he passed away, and then she tried doing the same thing to his twin sister, but she survived. She denied all these allegations, but after searching her home, they found handwritten notes where she confessed to killing all these babies. In one note, she wrote, "I killed them on purpose because I'm not good enough to take care of them." She was charged in 2020, but the trial is still ongoing and it's expected to last several months.
The babies do to her, man. There's some sick people in this world.
So it's December 28th, 2024, and 33-year-old Teresa Bermel decides to bring Jell-O shots to a Christmas party. The only problem? The partygoers were 5th graders. She brought Jell-O shots into her daughter's elementary school for their annual Christmas party. So they look something like this. They're a huge hit with the kids, and within minutes, 36 of the 40 are gone. So a little bit of time goes by, a couple kids start complaining of a headache, a couple kids start complaining of a stomach ache, 2 kids start throwing up, and 1 kid who had 6 Jell-O shots straight up passes out. Teachers, who are like, what in the hell is going on, smell the alcohol, send the kids to the nurse, and by 11:15 in the morning, the assistant principal has called 911. So the cops contact the bakery that made these Jell-O shots, and they're like, absolutely not. There's no way she didn't know there was alcohol in these. Apparently, the flyer that Teresa ordered from says contains vodka, and the bakery owner showed a correspondence of text messages where Teresa straight up asked the owner, do these contain alcohol? Which she, of course, said yes. Teresa has been arrested and bail was set at $75K.
She's trying to get all those little kids freaking drunk, bro. What the heck? At a Christmas party, too? One of those kids going crazy, man, drinking 6 Jell-O shots back to back to back, thinking they just, regular freaking Jell-O. And she knew what she was doing too, man. The message correspondence, it was all caught in 4K, man. What was going through her mind when she did that? What was the reasoning behind that?
What's the most pain a human can feel? Number 6 is a root canal. You do not want one of these. Number 5 is childbirth. Shout out to the moms. Number 4 is passing kidney stones. It passes through the kidneys and has to go through the urethra. Pain is excruciating. Women who have had it say it's more painful than childbirth. 3 is migraines. They can be so severe they can last for hours or days. The pain can be so severe it can cause vomiting. Number 2 is broken bones. Breaking all your bones at once? No thank you. Some of these pains can be so severe that the blood rushes from your brain and you pass out. One has to be severe burns or losing a limb. Only one pain more severe than all this. It's your TikTok video flopping.
Oh, really?
Here are some facts that will change the way you see the world. Sharks are older than all trees and the rings of Saturn. There are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way. You're 10 times more likely to be bitten by a New Yorker than a shark. Nintendo was founded before the zipper was invented. It is an open secret in Washington that President Jimmy Carter lost the nuclear codes by accidentally sending them to the dry cleaners in his suit pocket. Lighters were invented before matches. Strawberries are not berries, but bananas are. If you could drive straight up to space at 60 miles per hour, you would be there in an hour. A new study is saying if your friendship has lasted more than 7 years, it's very likely going to last your entire life. On average, children smile 400 times a day, women smile 62 times a day, and men smile 8 times a day. Over 3 sextillion snowflakes fall in the Rocky Mountains alone every year. Keanu Reeves' mom designed Dolly Parton's Playboy outfit and then wore it for Halloween. The Eiffel Tower grows 6 inches taller in the summertime. A woman survived a 33,000-foot fall without a parachute. A man found $3.5 million worth of vintage comics in his late great aunt's home.
A few facts that are so unbelievable you might think I'm lying.
but I'm not. The earliest known use of the term OMG comes from a 1917 letter written from Lord Fisher to Winston Churchill. If a person who's born deaf has schizophrenia, they don't hear voices, they see voices. In fact, tested subjects have reported lips moving or hands signing. The largest buyer of explosives in the world is the Department of the Defense for the United States. But number 2 is Disney. In 1919, the city of Boston was almost wiped out by a flood of molasses after a factory had ruptured, sending millions of gallons into the city. The catastrophe ultimately killed 21 people and injured 150. Anything that says genuine leather on it is low quality. High quality is top grain or full grain leather. Military grade does not mean high quality. It means easy to replace, cost effective, and durable. But marketers use it to get you to pay more.
Her parents took her life after she refused to marry her cousin. 18-year-old Saman Abbas lived with her parents in northern Italy but were originally from Pakistan. She chose not to wear a head covering in public and would also post photos of her kissing her boyfriend in public, and this would make her parents very upset. In 2020, Saman's parents wanted her to travel to Pakistan for an arranged marriage with her cousin, but she refused. To get away from her parents, she lived for several months under the protection of social services but was tricked into going back after she received messages from them. Once Saman returned home, she mysteriously disappeared. On April 29th of 2021, CCTV footage captures 3 members of the family walking with spades, a crowbar, and a blue bag. The following day, separate footage shows Saman leaving the house with her parents, and she was never seen again. Her body was eventually recovered near a farmhouse that wasn't too far away from her parents' home. An autopsy revealed she had suffered a broken neck bone from being strangled. Once Saman's family had unalived her, they immediately left Italy and went to Pakistan so they wouldn't be caught. Her uncle, who was also involved, was detained in Paris in 2021. Father was arrested in 2022, and at the time her mother was on the run. In court, Saman's father claimed that he was innocent and that him and his wife only followed her that night because it was late and they were unhappy and they just wanted to see where she was going. The court convicted both parents and they were sentenced to life in prison.
Horrifying facts you haven't knew.
In 1988, Iranian man Mehran Karimi Nasseri was traveling to the UK with his briefcase containing essential refugee documents, was stolen from him at a Paris train station. Unable to prove his identity to British immigration officials, Nasseri was returned to France and found himself completely stranded in Terminal 1 of Paris's main airport. He remained there for an astonishing 18 years, during which he became a fixture in the terminal, residing on a red bench surrounded by his belongings, writing in his diary and engaging with airport staff and travelers. In 2006, Nasseri was hospitalized, finally ending his long stay at the airport. He later lived in a Paris shelter, before returning to the airport in 2022, where he would spend his final days, before dying of a heart attack in the same terminal. His unique situation inspired several works, most notably the 2004 film The Terminal, directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Tom Hanks.
I stopped this series because I kept getting in trouble for it, but I remember the title and I'm feeling feisty. So, here are some unethical life hacks. Most Girl Scouts can't tell if cash is counterfeit, and I have faith that you'd be able to outrun a lot of them, even with your arms full of cookie boxes. And you know who else probably isn't going to look too hard at that fake $20 bill you're about to give them? Homeless people. They'll thank you for it, go try to buy something, get arrested, go to jail, and now you have single-handedly reduced the unhoused population in your area. And if a cop is watching you and you want them to stop, even if you're not doing anything shady, but especially if you are, just pick your nose, because no paranoid person is going to start doing this if they think somebody's watching them. If you are terminally ill and single, great. If you're married, get a divorce. You can stay together. It's a piece of paper. It doesn't matter, okay? Because you're about to spend your remaining time here on Earth drastically improving your quality of life by buying the things and going on the trips that you always dreamed of via credit card debt. Because what are they going to do when you die? Ding your credit score? Be for real. In a 2 out of 3 game of rock, paper, scissors, you first need to use rock, no matter what, and then use paper, okay? I guarantee you're going to win 99.99% of the time. I can explain the psychology behind this, but it's rock, paper, scissors.
Here are 4 human body facts that are guaranteed to make you go, wow. And will most likely trigger you a little bit. Firstly, how would you react if I told you that you actually see the world upside down? I know. What? Let me just explain. The lens of each eye casts an upside-down image onto our retina. It's only then that our brain takes these two images at two slightly different perspectives and creates one single right-side-up image. So that we're not seeing the sky on the floor and the ground. Oh, my brain. Next up, your heartbeat actually adapts to the music that you're listening to. Next, you know when your nose randomly starts running and you really don't know why? Well, what this could be may freak you out. There is a chance that that's because that's not snot, and that it's actually cerebrospinal fluid, brain and spinal cord fluid leaking out of you to reduce pressure. What? Sometimes during brain surgery, surgeons will peel back your face like a banana. Now let's make a deal. If any of these made you go, then you have to share it. Okay.
So sometimes when your nose just randomly, just starts, you think that's not, it's freaking brain fluid, spine and brain fluid. These facts be blowing my mind every single time I watch it, man.
You're about to hear things that no one bothered to tell you before. In Japan, some husbands hand their entire salary to their wives and get pocket money in return. Joe Biden's dog bit Secret Service agents while he was president at least 24 times. Over $1 million in coins are thrown into the Trevi Fountain every year, which funds 15% of a major Catholic charity. Apple spent $1 billion a year for over a decade trying to build a car that they never released. Rome can fine dog owners for not walking their dogs daily. A recent study suggested that the more someone paid attention to celebrities, the lower they scored on any cognitive test. Bananas have been considered bad luck on boats since the 1700s. The limestone on Mount Everest was once part of the ocean floor. Prions are not alive, but still hijack your brain and kill you. And they come from eating infected animal brains. A group of artists secretly lived in a hidden apartment they built inside a mall for 4 years. A 1-acre plot in Britain legally belongs to the United States as a JFK memorial. 13 Going on 30 was renamed Suddenly 30 in Australia because they thought the original title was going to be too confusing. John Steinbeck had to rewrite Of Mice and Men after his dog ate the manuscript. Heath Ledger studied ventriloquists and kept a twisted Joker diary full of disease jokes and dark imagery. Ferrite beads on power cords block radio signals so your charger doesn't become an accidental antenna. A Rhode Island hospital did brain surgery on the wrong side of the head 3 times in 1 year.
Disney World facts and incidents that are a lot darker than you could imagine. And if you guys are loving Creep Time and you want even more content, make sure to check out my Instagram right in the bio. Disney World is known for quite a few high-profile deaths, most of which they have done a great job of covering up. But none quite as quickly as when an off-duty cast member accidentally fell to his death off Disney's contemporary resort onto the monorail. Within just 3 hours, Disney had completely cleaned it up and just resumed operations. In 1981, a case went to court when parents claimed that an actor at the park who played Winnie the Pooh had slapped their daughter. But this cast member insisted that this was just a case of turning around and accidentally knocking the little girl over, and actually proved this to a jury in court by repeating the incident while dressed in costume. In the early 70s, at an attraction known as the Carousel of Progress, in which the stage rotates a full 360, the attendant, who was 18, was crushed between the stage and the wall. Even more chilling, there is an audio recording that exists of this exact incident.
I want to hear that, man. That's gonna haunt my dreams. It's crazy though, bro. Some of those happen at Disney. More you know.
Creepy ghost stories from each state, part 4.
California, Alcatraz prison. Staying at Alcatraz was no joke, and even the spirits of the most insane and notorious criminals were broken there. It is said that the empty cells inside the walls of Alcatraz still home the restless spirits that remain there. Some of the worst criminals in America, including Arthur Doc Barker, Machine Gun Kelly, and Al Capone.
What? They want it? Nah, I'm called cop on that.
They noticed something was following them, but as they look out the window, they see this. A Reddit user explains that one night, while taking a picture with his family near a wooded area in front of his house, they began to feel like something was watching them. As the family made their way inside the cabin in fear of some sort of predator that might be out stalking them from the woods, from one of the windows, they noticed something that doesn't seem human staring at them.
What the hell is that? that? Oh, I'm out.
Like something from a nightmare, the family sees this strange white figure with black eyes and mouth distorting as they zoom in on it. What's even more unsettling is the fact that multiple glowing eyes can be seen in different areas. Judging by the height of these entities, it's clear this is not human. The horrifying video was uploaded by user The Cat's Pajamas, explaining that he has no idea just what exactly was stalking his family from the woods.
Here are 3 seemingly normal pictures with very dark backstories. Number 1, the Whitaker family. What looks like maybe just a normal family out to dinner, this was actually the same night that Bart Whitaker had hired 2 friends to come and kill his entire family, plotting to do so for monetary gain. The only survivor of the hit was the father, who is not pictured here as he was the one taking this photo. Number 2, Green Boots. Maybe this looks like just a snow hiker taking a break or a nap, but it's actually one of the hundreds of bodies that remain on Mount Everest, as the conditions are impossible to retrieve them. Because they are left, they remain only as landmarks for future hikers. Number 3, Carl Tanzler's doll. Maybe this looks like a poor rendition of a wax figure, but it's actually the corpse of Elena Hoyos. Following her death in her 20s, a man named Carl Tanzler became obsessed with her and ended up stealing and taxidermying her body, where it remained in his home and bed for 10 years.
That looks like a doll. That did not look like a human body. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're true seekers seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate the support. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up in this video, comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit that post notification bell so you always get notified when I upload my next videos. You guys are going to catch me in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.